hold up a second. Alright, I am live. Oh, fuck me to tears. Alright, we are going to watch the Sarkeesian Effect. Let me just check if I can actually stream this. You know, I'm getting used to playing on a PS5 instead of a PS4. If I have to, I'll just hook up my PS4 and do that. But, you know what? Alright, it's on the screen, so yeah. Nice. So we are going to share this with our good friends, and we are going to play. So I got my account, streams. Now, if you don't know what this movie is, this is a indie movie made by Jordan Owen, 42. One's watching. All right. This is a movie made by Jordan Owen, 42, and Davis Arini. Musicology, don't at me. All right. Well, I apologize, but you're going to be added. Twice. Alright, so let me get my YouTube on there. Music's fucking doing it. Alright, let's play. This is the Sarkeesian Effect by Davis Arini. Alright, it's playing. Nice. This is good. Our censor should be reserved for those who would close all doors but one. The surrealist way to lose truth is to pretend that one already wholly possesses it. Alright. Let me crack open a beer. This is a movie. This movie was made by Jordan Owen, 42, and Davis Arini. They were going to make this as one documentary, but they kind of had like a falling out during the making of it. So they made two versions of the same documentary. Jordan Owens is basically like a libertarian pro-porn documentary, and Davis Arini is like an anti-communist version of the documentary. It's fucking weird.
Here tonight to present
Game Developer Choice Awards. Ooh.
This year's Ambassador of the Year award.
Video by GameSpot.
Is Neil Druckmann.
Neil Druckmann. Hey, what's up, Masked Man? Greetings.
Creative director and writer on The Last of Us.
The Ambassador Award honors an
That guy's a fucking hack and a Jew. The Last of Us was not a good game. Smells like dilation.
individual who has helped the game industry advance to a better place. Antia Sarkeesian's work has done just that. A feminist and a media
I don't like her, but she has really nice kissable lips.
critic, Antia is a fan of popular culture, and she believes that it is one of the ways in which we learn about ourselves and the world around us.
In May 2012, a once obscure media critic announced a crowdfunding project exploring women's representations in video games. Big black lips. Hey, musicology. She don't have big black lips. She has big kissable lips. The project has made her one of the most controversial figures in modern gaming culture. She was, and then she kind of faded out of obscurity while counting her dollars. You like Harrian beauties? I think she looks alright.
Kickstarter also triggered a rather large online intimidation and harassment campaign aimed directly at her. Her social media outlets were attacked with varying degrees of hateful and misogynistic comments, imagery, and even threats.
As a result of the heavy media coverage, the project earned $158,922 from well-wishers Defiel and her Kazakov waifu, yeah, who saw the negativity perception of the project's creator as a sexist slight against outspoken women. There it is.
Game reviews and editorials constantly reference her.
Imagine pulling a grift like this. She got some money out of it. She got some good money. She was able to stay relevant for a few years, and she fucking drifted out of the limelight. She don't have to worry about shit.
Many developers now have a greater understanding of character tropes and the shortcomings they can lead to. It is my honor to present the Game Developers Ambassador Award to Antia Sarkeesian.
By the time
she fucking that guy made a video game where a lesbian woman beats up a straight woman.
Antia Sarkeesian ascended onto the GDC Awards stage, there were two conflicting narratives about how she'd got.
Look at that fucking nose. She looks like a fucking witch. I'm sorry, Anita. I still would, but you look like a fucking witch.
Gotten there. The one put forth by Mr. Druckmann was the one reflected in the media at large. The story of a heroic young woman who
what a weird kink.
overcame impossible odds to gain new ground for women and minorities everywhere. It was a compelling narrative, one that fit
fucking schnoz
well with the civil rights stories of the past. PBS even saw fit to compare.
Can you guys hear me, by the way?
Rosa Parks.
Can you guys actually hear me? Just a heads up. Because I had an issue with this last night. No one could hear me. And I had to, like, fuck with it. It was like some tiny little detail I fucked with.
Harvey Milk and Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes. All right,
but
great.
This appealing narrative doesn't tell the whole story. As Anita grinned ear-to-ear, trophy in hand, thousands of...
Look at her hoochie mama earrings. That's like a... She has, like, earrings a Latino would wear. You want to fight me? And she has to take off the earrings.
Of gamers were watching something else entirely. The video game industry bowing down to a bully like none it had ever encountered before.
Except it's awful quality and it's perfect. Except we did actually fight a bully like that. Hey, Richard Russell. We fought people like that. Hillary Clinton, Jack Thompson. Happy Easter. Happy Easter, man. Oh, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. They play the DK rap in it. Nice. Lord ass. Yeah, we fought bullies like Anita before. Jack Thompson, Joseph. All I can think about is 9/11. But yeah, Hillary Clinton, Jack Thompson. We fought bullies like that who wanted to censor gaming. It's just in the projects every night. Except with Anita, she actually was successful, unlike people like
a bully that used
urgent
guilt
correction.
And political correctness to have her way. The two narratives about Antia Sarkeesian, one heroic, one heinous, had come to define the two
Lunar Eternal Blue for the PS1. Nice!
Sides of a bitter culture war in modern video gaming that would soon explode into the controversial consumer revolt known as Gamergate.
Here's a fun fact. Every hobby you like, everything that distracts you from the painful, no, that is not George Wood. Everything that distracts you from the modern world will turn into a culture war. It doesn't matter what it is. Video games, comic books, movies, D&D, Warhammer, the Kamen Rider, Godzilla, doesn't matter. If you like something, it will turn into a culture war. It will turn into a left versus right, feminist versus MRA, doesn't matter what it is. It will turn into a culture war and it will shit it up. It will fucking destroy it. It'll make it worse. It'll make it shitty. They'll never take away spinning cows in my head. That's my hobby. Good for you, man.
While the world at large looked on with confusion, gaming culture stood divided over what could only be called the Sarkeesian Effect.
I want to thank Gaseous Clay for getting me this footage. I had to rekajigger it. Mario movie was really fun. A lot of cool references. Luigi's phone ringtone is the GameCube star. I heard that. Yeah, I want to thank Gaseous Clay for getting me this footage. I had to reconfigure it to make it work on my PS5, but it's working. JO42 Productions presents a Jordan Owen film. There's a Kid Icarus reference. I know there's a Punch-Out reference. The pizza parlor they go to is called Punch-Out Pizza. And a Foreman Spike is in there. Yes, it is. The Famicom Disk System is the GameCube chime. Was awful, otherwise an alright movie. Better than the Sonic one. I need to watch this movie. Inside the world of social justice warriors. Nowadays we call them woke, or just the left. That's really it. No one uses the term social justice warrior anymore. Like the Sonic, perhaps. Featuring Brad Wardell, Jack Thompson. They actually got Jack Thompson for this video, which is fucking wild. They need to make a Zelda movie? Fuck, I'd watch that. Mercedes Carrera. That woman is in jail right now. She was a child molester. Got scooped by the Liberalist. Or an Earthbound movie. Ooh. Kathy Young. I don't remember who that is. Jim Goad. I don't know who that is. Paul Elam. I know who that is. He's a men's rights activist. Mercedes is a beautiful name. Mercedes is a beautiful woman. It's a shame that she was a fucking child predator. Trailer for Across the Spider-Verse. Gwen has a trans kid. Oh, it sucks. A DK country movie would be fun, but I want someone to... Yeah. Oh, Thunderfoot. Oh, no. Solar fucking roadways. Digra, Karen Strawn, Hannah Wallen, and Rachel Edwards. Those are the Honey Badgers. In fact, Rachel Edwards isn't even a part of Honey Badger Radio anymore. She fucking left because she couldn't stand the group, and she actually said, Honey Badger Radio sucks, and Allison Tiemann is a crybaby. Karen Strawn is a fucking drunk, and I have no ill words for Hannah. Hannah's alright. Dude, bananas. Christina Pereira. That woman is a prostitute, I believe. That's the woman. She was like a she wanted to do like a porn movie version of Anita Sarkeesian. I don't know who Jason Miller is, or I don't remember. Seth Rogen did his annoying ass. Dude, weed. Nicholas Roblink? Mallory Nassalari. Nassala? I don't know. Narrated by Jordan Owen.
So,
Yeah, that guy is Thunderfoot. He was a popular anti-feminist, anti-Muslim atheist back in the day. Back in like 2014 to 2017, the skeptic community was really big. And all their talking points are basically anti-feminism, anti-Muslim, and I guess, pronouns. And he was one of them.
I was actually aware of Anita Sarkeesian before her big Kickstarter that really put her on the radar. And she was just one of a list of essentially crazy feminists.
Oh shit, the Thunderfoot. Funniest video someone made about him was mocking him for not being able to perform, and her wife left him for a woman. Ooh, that's brutal. So, oh, my taste. He will taste my shoe. Voila!
Of things that I might have made videos about, she was a potential gold mine, but she just never really made it onto the radar. Then came her big Kickstarter.
I'm going to create a series of 5 videos.
She's alright looking. You can see a little bit of gray hairs, but fuck it. Yeah, she has like nice lips. Wouldn't you want to kiss her right on the mouth and be like, it's alright, baby. Trolls ain't gonna get you now.
That look at and
But she has them like Hoochie Mama Latina earrings.
deconstruct the most common and the most stereotypical representations of women in games.
She had a good game collection too. From what I can see, Fable 2, Fable 3, Halo, Mirror's Edge, Rayman, The Orange Box, Bayonetta.
This is an incredibly ambitious project because of the scope and scale of...
But she could slurp out all the gravy. You too sabe Anita veni pa acá. The bigger the hoops, the bigger the hoe, for real, for real.
The research and...
Yeah, she does have those Latina
so
Hoochie Mama
any amount
earrings.
you can to bring this video series to life.
And I'd seen her previous work. I mean, there was just no way that she was going to be able...
Also, sometime in the future, I will be doing a video, a live stream talking about Antia Sarkeesian's tropes versus women in gaming. A little late to the party, but I'll do it.
to live up to the expectation.
I'm so sick of porn with my file sharing. What the...
Honestly, I kind of agree with her for that. I want a video where Joey ties up Anita and reviews a McDonald's Happy Meal in front of her. I do agree with her on this. Like, I want to go on like a file sharing site, and I don't want to see like a woman getting fisted. Thunderfoot is alright now since he devotes his time shitting on Elon Musk retarded ideas. Alright.
BitTorrent tracker site.
Young Anita's alright. Yeah, she kind of has like a nostalgia. Actually, she looks like my biology teacher when I was in high school. She needs to be oh god.
Crossing the line into simulating pornographic pedophilia.
The singer expresses no desire or need.
I will say, Antia Sarkeesian is against pornography, and that's pretty cool. I like that. I just wish, another Armenian, I just wish she actually, like, fought pornography and not just sexist video games. Like, could you imagine if she was going after Pornhub? That'd be pretty cool.
Or interests in anything other than being gifted a man for Christmas. It was disturbing that the art directors chose to have a feminine and apparently queer...
Anita is a crazy bitch, but she's cute as on the bingo card. Hey, Gaseous.
Men
she's cute,
as a...
and I don't think she's crazy. Like, I don't like a lot of her ideas, but I do like the fact that she's anti-pornography. That's pretty cool. You're pretty cool for that, Anita.
Part of the decadent, superficial, and rather sociopathic ruling class society.
So, and of course, when the video started coming out, that's exactly what you saw, is that it was essentially one woman who had gone through and cherry-picked a minute fraction of gaming to spin this story that all these games really have something about keeping women down, and that will actually keep them down in reality. And those are just two things that you can show are so demonstrably wrong. Her level of dishonesty
Antia Sarkeesian busted by Phil Thunderfoot Mason.
Honesty beggars belief. It really does just beggar belief.
The problem is...
Female game developer response to tropes versus women by Ola, indie developer. Also, real life women do not matter, only fictional ones. Also, Liana K actually did a, this guy made an NES emulator tutorial video. Nice.
The implications she's making are very, very harsh because she's implying that the game developers...
NES is a great system, but it's overrated. Who?
...are sexist themselves, that they think less of women, that they think...
Didn't make a NES emulator?
I just don't understand. Does Anita play these games
Shit.
that she pulls out of her bag of tricks, or is she just conveniently Google searching game types, reading rough descriptions of them, and then deciding that they'll do?
Antia Sarkeesian.
Oh shit, Mr. Epsion. Not as overrated as a Neo Geo. Ow. Him for one lonely coder.
Uses
They
a
look
lot
very...
of emotionally loaded buzzwords to drill into her audience on how offended they should be.
Anita's
Basically, it's like, if a dude gets a boner, it's bad. Gaseous, that hurt. If a dude gets a boner, it's bad. Like, I don't like Anita, and I don't like the things she says, but I do like the fact that she's anti-porn.
videos.
Instead of focusing on the video game industry, Anita should have focused on pornography. Two British hippie-looking motherfuckers is bound to happen. Anita didn't play shit. She just bought a bunch of titles to pose with, the same as filming yourself.
generated an overwhelmingly negative response from
The
gamers
appear
who saw
super
her
intelligent.
arguments about games as fallacious and often blatantly false. For example, this claim about The Legend of Zelda.
Zelda has never been the star in her own adventure, nor been a true playable character in the core series.
Bullshit. She's been playable in a few of them.
Except Zelda had been the
All right, that doesn't count. Remember, Repsion sells his used socks. Ill. She was playable, and I think, what was it, Spirit Tracks? And a few other Zelda games you could actually play as Zelda. Or the fact that she was, wrong, ass fucked.
protagonist of her own games, the appropriately titled Zelda's Adventure and Zelda the
All right, the CDI games don't count. They don't count.
Wand of Gamelon.
He looks bucked.
Or this comment about the unreleased Dinosaur Planet.
Let's start with the story of a game that no one ever got to play. Back in 1999, game developer Rare was hard at work on a new original title for the Nintendo 64 called Dinosaur Planet. The game was to star a 16-year-old hero named Crystal as one of two playable protagonists. She was tasked with traveling through time, fighting prehistoric monsters with her magical staff, and saving the world.
We got that game as Star Fox Adventure. Not a bad game, but honestly, I would have preferred if it was Dinosaur Planet.
Strong, she was capable, and she was heroic. As development on the project...
I'm sure I didn't have anything to do at the end of the N64 lifetime. I played that game, Fox Dino World or some shit. Yeah, it's all sexism. You can play the... Yeah!
Neared completion, legendary game designer Shigeru Miyamoto joked about how he thought it should be the third installment in his Star Fox franchise instead. Over the next 2 years, he and Nintendo did just that. They rewrote and redesigned the game and released it as Star Fox Adventures for the game.
That game's pretty good. A lot of people shit on that game, but it's a pretty good Zelda clone.
GameCube in 2002.
Actually, the reason Miyamoto wanted
Gonna stream Medicare and BFK's reaction. Maybe in the future.
to make it a Star Fox game was that he thought the male hero Saber resembled Fox McCloud. Anita leaves this out to create the illusion of sexism where none exists. But most dishonest of all is when Anita manipulates footage, as in the example of Hitman Absolution.
Players are then invited to explore and exploit those situations during their playthrough.
Where's Medicare coming back from his face? I don't know. Yeah, she lied about this. You're not supposed to kill these women at all. In fact, you're only in Hitman. You're only supposed to kill who you're supposed to kill. You're not supposed. It's not Grand Theft Auto where you can just go on a killing spree. Part of his brain, or right?
The player cannot help but treat these female bodies as things to be acted
She keeps saying female bodies. It's weird.
upon, because they were designed, constructed, and placed in the environment for that singular.
No shit. The Hitman you're playing as is a thing to be acted upon. He is a game character. He has no will other than what you give him. You dumb bitch. He is a thing to be acted upon. Every character in a video game is a thing to be acted upon. There are objects. They are not people. They are things to be acted on. Is a communist tick, huh? Yes, preach.
Purpose. Players are meant to derive a perverse pleasure from desecrating the bodies of unsuspecting virtual female characters.
And men, you stupid bitch! She doesn't, oh my god, she doesn't think men exist. No, they're all objects! They are things to fuck with in the game. They are not people. They are not real. They are ones and zeros being programmed by a PlayStation 3. Fuck!
It's a rush streaming from a carefully concocted mix of sexual arousal connected to the
She knows she's just a liar. It does sound like some communist zero IQ propaganda. Repeat the man.
act of controlling and punishing representations of female sexuality.
No, actually the reason the strippers are there is so that the player will have to figure out how to slip past them undetected. Just because the strippers can be killed doesn't mean that's their singular.
She ever... Oh my god, I don't think she ever talked about Leisure Suit Larry. She's expressing her own sick fantasies. Even if you removed all the women in Hitman, she'd still complain. Yeah, there was an Assassin's Creed game where all the playable characters are men. And people like her were bitching about it because there were no playable women. But if they had playable women, they'd bitch about it because they weren't done right. Illbleed? Oh my god. Because she's not really in the game, yeah.
Purpose. In addition to providing the player with...
She doesn't know about Valis. Fun fact, one of Anita's mods for her Twitch was a guy that was really into the Valis games, but it turns out he was a pedophile.
a stealth challenge. Overhearing their
Identifies the
conversation
male.
provides important information about the target the player must assassinate. But despite all that, Anita still claims the women were
designed, constructed, and placed.
Remember the Toy Story part? Sexy doll? Shocking. Imagine my shock.
In the environment for that singular purpose.
Another example of manipulation came from her misrepresentation of Fallout New Vegas.
Shocking as the stink on a turd. Fun fact, you can also kill men in Fallout. Illbleed? That'd be nice. I should do that. You can kill men in Fallout. You can kill anyone. Fuck. What does she think like, if anything happens to a woman, it's bad? Fuck, in The Last of Us 2, you can beat a woman to death several times. Is that bad? Or is it good because Neil Druckmann did it? You can also mod children. The Atomic Wrangler greeter was voiced by a 13-year-old. Wow. But yeah, is The Last of Us 2 bad because you can beat women to death? You can kill women in The Last of Us 2. Does that count? These are for people who don't play video games. Hungry, thirsty, horny. Wow. Expecting leftists to not be gigantic hypocrites. True. That's why the whole "what if the other sides were reversed" question annoys me. They don't care if the other side is reversed. Their whole thing is just all their arguments are just gotcha moments and fucking like hypocrisies. That's it.
It appears that the player was just awarded the rank of good-natured rascal for killing a prostitute. But Fallout is a role-playing game, one which assigns a reputation based on the player's actions. If the player
it gets passed because it perpetrates the message.
Neutral territory and killed an innocent person, their reputation would go to shunned. For the player to get good-natured rascal, they would
when you fucked your good reputation,
need to enter a
you
neutral
get that
area, do enough good deeds to reach the rank of idolized, and then the player would be demoted to good-natured rascal for committing cold-blooded murder. Even some of the games Anita approves of don't fit her criteria. For example,
though not about the abuse of women.
I've never played this game. Papa and Yo?
The 2012 indie title Papa and Yo is an example of a game that respectfully deals with the very serious issue of alcoholism and domestic violence against children. The game does so by telling its story from the point of view of a protagonist.
Anita draws on her eyebrow. Yeah, she has like hoochie mama aesthetics. It's voiced by a kid. Shell is an object to be experimented on.
Directly affected by the trauma of abuse, not someone on the outside coming to their rescue.
The only actual female in the game is Alejandra, and she is what Anita would call a manic pixie dream girl.
The manic pixie dream girl is a supporting character used to further the storyline of the male hero. She really has no life of her own. She has no family or interests or much of a job that we ever see. She is, as the AV Club describes, on hand to lift a gloomy male protagonist out of the doldrums, not to pursue her own happiness.
Alejandra is captured by a monster, making her a
damsel in distress.
Alejandra is eaten by a monster, which makes her a
euthanized damsel.
And to top it all off, the player must use Alejandra's dead body to bait a trap for the monster.
Anita was the object of John McIntosh's agenda. Yeah, she's a manic pixie dream girl. She has no agency.
Considering that Anita had this to say about Hitman Absolution.
Hitman Absolution features a mission in which the player can create a diversion by picking up and dumping the dead body of an exotic dancer near police officers.
Shit, I need to play that game now. That looks fun. The only Hitman game I played was Hitman 2.
My understanding is that
Mallory Nashallah. Anita looks like she hasn't been fugged in a while. Yeah. Erotic photographer, philosophy
She is
student.
not
Wow.
a gamer. She's an art critic.
Absolution is
And-
decent. So what? It's a game about murder.
You know, there's some overlap in my career and hers
I like
as
the
an art
Absolution.
critic. I think
Don't get your morals from a game about murder. I could not get a half-decent score in the gun store level.
she's doing it poorly. I always try to focus on technique and not subject matter. And her criticisms seem to boil down
Gun store
to,
was an interesting level.
defending her personal taste of subject matter.
Yeah.
And that's just a kind of lowbrow way to critique art. Like, I don't like pictures of horses, therefore all pictures of horses are bad. That's
Who is this cutie? Big titty. Her name's like...
effectively what her criticism seems to amount to.
I forget what her name is, but it showed up on the
It
screen.
has not occurred to me to think of those things as women,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
To think of the characters.
Yeah, when you're
Yeah, it's hard as fuck. There's pretty much no hiding spots, and you gotta use the power outage to your advantage.
reading
Wow.
literature or, again, observing art or participating in any sort of critique of media.
She can get it. Yeah, she's pretty good looking.
And there are
I
characters
would.
involved. You have to extrapolate a whole lot to kind of anthropomorphize them. I don't do that. I don't feel the need to say that, I don't know, we were talking about John Carter of Mars, that guy has wants and desires and needs. He's a character.
Right.
He's a character
She
in a
might be
story.
Khazar.
in a
Yeah, I
plot-driven
can kinda
story.
see
It's
it.
not even character-driven.
Flap, flap.
He
Yeah.
is exactly what he is, and that's it.
Big booba and busted face is your type.
That's how I view the men and women in video games. There's a narrative. These people are instrumental to that narrative in one
Notice the kissing her book on her bookshelf. Good.
way or another.
She
don't
might be
think,
Jewish,
Like,
yeah.
the strippers in Hitman.
Everything is a psyop. The only DRM in the new Hitman game is the lock content. If you didn't get day one, is stopping me
Are
from trying.
just
Wow.
trying to make a living, and they gotta go home and feed their kids because no, that they're characters in a game, and I don't pour them onto myself or myself onto them. They're not reflections of reality. They're part of a narrative, and they don't seem to be instrumental or irrelevant in any way. Not any more so than men.
Anita's commentary on video games should have been easily and quickly dismissed by gamers, the press, and academia. But there was a new cultural movement at work in video game journalism that would give Anita her staying power. Many gaming journalists were
That guy's a piece of shit and a cokehead. And now he hates the very people he pandered to.
increasingly using their
Arthur Tree. That guy's a scumfuck, and I don't know anything about him. Although I'm pretty sure he's a rapist.
commentary on games to
That guy sucks.
advance their social
I'm pretty sure that's a dude.
agenda,
Binary domain is good. I have to check that out.
much to the chagrin of
Luke
gamers
Plunkett.
at large who were quick to
That's a dude. Patricia Hernandez is a dude.
dub them social justice
Fuck that
warriors.
guy. Fuck that
For this
guy.
new
Fuck that
breed of
guy. Fuck that. Fuck
activism-oriented
her.
game
Fuck him.
critics,
Fuck
Anita
him.
Sarkeesian
Fuck
was
him.
the perfect figurehead for their agenda.
Gorilla Hernandez. Ha!
Well, she's a prop in a sense.
Patricia got dunked on so much. More like Patricia Hernandez. Am I right? Lol.
It's the classic. We are working basically for free. We're freelancers, and we have an agenda that we're very passionate about. But
Prostitute.
we do have a little bit of shame, enough shame to not actually just post news as blatant editorial. So, look at this. Here's this relatively obscure woman who's posting the things that we agree with, and we're going to now use.
Wardell used to shitpost on Twitter a lot. Oh, shit.
We're not. It's not us. We're just reporting what this person has said. Right. And it's
Nice.
like, well, it's first of all, those of us who do this for a living and have been around a long, it's so transparent that it's sort of like, I don't know if you're a parent, but it's like when a child lies about something, and they probably to themselves think it's really clever. Yeah. But if you're to an adult, it's like, honey, that's not what happened. There was this .com crash in the early 2000s, which completely
NASDAQ Composite. Yeah, look at that fucking... Look, it's like up in the 2000s and whoop!
changed the way journalism was done at the game sites, the tech sites, and elsewhere. They're in pre.com crash. You could go to the Bay Area and there'd be buildings full of people, full-time journalists, and they were real actual journalists. I mean, like, you know, they went to Columbia. They took their job very seriously.
Gone
After
deep.
the dot-com crash, and this is something that's getting even worse.
Price gone deep.
Any discussion on the gaming media can't ignore this. This is one of the things that most people don't even realize has happened, because they just think, well, that they think what they think, and is that these game sites in particular, because it's a very low margin. If you've ever seen the balance sheets for some of these places.
What year was this taken? This was from 2014. This was filmed in 2014, and I think it was released in 2015. And there are two versions of this made, Square Lukester, Jordan Owen's version, which I'm watching now, and then there's a Dava Sarini version. Jordan Owen's version is mainly just about Antia Sarkeesian, games journalism, and Gamergate, but Dava Sarini's version is about communism and Gamergate. It's fucking weird.
They're terrible. They rely on freelancers, and freelancers often are willing to work for nothing because they're getting something else out of it, and that is their activism. They're trying to push an agenda. They would see it as they're trading. They're willing to work for less because they're getting what they're able to push. What they honestly believe is their way of trying to make the world better.
Communism. Communism. You're nothing to say, they're breaking away. If you listen to fools, the mob rules. Black Sabbath. That's a good song. I like Black Sabbath. God bless Thiel for destroying Gawker.
I'm here today to share a little bit about the phenomenon of very vocal, aggressive, mostly male
May God forgive his sodomy.
who are unwilling or unable.
XOXO Fest 2014. The fun thing about XOXO Fest, and a lot of I don't think XOXO Fest is around anymore, but a lot of these like woke gaming festivals, social justice gaming festivals, they're all white people. They're all white folks. It's all like upper class, wealthy white people that want to feel like they're doing good in the world.
Able to accept
White and Jewish and Armenian.
this new reality.
But they're not like brown people.
Reactionary response can only be described as a massive and terrifying assault directed at the female fans, developers, and critics who feel they are destroying games.
What about What about females like Liana Kersner, who is directly opposed to you, Anita? Or Anita got fat? What about Jade Augustus? That shit be racist and shit. Like the demographics, the social demographics of America, I don't think they have Yeah. It's like, what about like women like Liana Kersner? What about her? What about Jade, Mr. Mediker's wife, who directly made a video opposed to you? What about shit, like a lot of women? There are a lot of women that like don't like what you have to say.
In fact, over the last 2 years, I've been made into something of a folk demon
You're not a folk demon. Jade, the yoga
by
queen.
some very angry men, especially those that
And women.
hang out on certain parts of Reddit and 4chan.
Well,
Oh, the Money Badgers. Mommy June. You got Karen Strawn, Hannah Wallen, and the other one, I forgot her name.
basically, Anita criticizes what she calls misogynist
Rachel. Yes, Rachel, Hannah, and Karen.
tropes in video games, but
I'm converting to Judaism. I think it's good for my career.
when you actually examine her behavior, her activism, the things, the emotional manipulations and psychological manipulations.
The fat girl is Rachel Edwards. Yes, she did. Rachel Edwards. These women are unfuckable. They go to No, they're from Canada. Or at least two of them are, or one of them is. The Honey Badgers are from Canada. That's Rachel Edwards, who got kicked out of the group because she asked too many questions. Hannah Wallen, and Karen Strawn.
She uses in order to succeed. She's employing all of the same
Even worse.
sexist, misogynist.
Damn,
tropes.
Hannah has a Leno-esque chin. Yeah, she kind of looks like Egon from the Ghostbusters movie.
That she criticizes being used in video games. The damsel in distress being the most obvious one. when she launched her Kickstarter and got some pushback from the gaming community because, frankly, no normal person wants to be basically told, well, you're a misogynist because the hobby that you enjoy is a misogynistic hobby, right? And you're a bad person because...
The music isn't sounding well with the actual voices. It's weird.
You enjoy media that denigrates women, which is her basic premise.
I detect inhumane doses of BPD. BPD alert!
Nobody wants to be accused of that. So she received a certain amount of pushback from the gaming community over her criticisms of video games. And what did she do? She managed to...
You are correct. I've met her in person. Can confirm. Holy shit. Which one did you meet in person, Gaseous?
Damsel her way into something like 26 times what she originally asked for. So, like...
Karen? You met Karen? Did she smell like vodka?
She...
Karen seems like she smells like vodka and cigarettes.
Literally, I was looking on the thread, and I did see a lot of comments that...
I thought God has a sense of humor. She is named Karen. I fucked her. God. I wouldn't even admit that. If I had to say anything about me and Karen having sex, I'd be like, I was raped. She raped me. But I want strategy guys to make a comeback. So do I. Found out about this project through Kotaku. She was half in the bag, thought she was too good to sit with the plebs for viewing for the Red Pill movie. Oh, you saw the Red Pill movie. Well, what are you going to do?
Sort of read a little bit like, I have no idea what you...
I might watch the Red Pill movie on stream if I can get away with it.
Your project's about, but you don't deserve...
I decided to back your project because it seemed as the best way to show my support and gratitude for the work you do. And as a female gamer and feminist, I cannot let the hatred just pass by. I hope the amount of you have raised as compared to the goal that you have set messages those who want to silence not just you, but all of us. Plus, I think you are awesome and talented. Go make videos.
This kind of abuse, here, have $100. So...
Damn, over 125,000. Karen's son is a ratty-looking punk. It seems like it. Perhaps there are more intelligent, caring people out there than thick-headed haters after all. It really does make me happy to see how much attention...
there were people definitely sort of riding to her rescue as the damsel who was being assailed by the evil, nasty, villainous men. And she's really run with that. I mean, she is not, in the mainstream, she's not known for her video series, right? Her video series, Antia Sarkeesian, whose video series, Tropes versus Women in Video.
This music sounds like background music to a cheap survival horror clone for the Dreamcast. I know it sounds really weird and specific, but this sounds like something you'd hear in the background music for a survival horror game for the Dreamcast.
Video games spurred a massive misogynistic hate campaign against her.
This is like a save room for a Dreamcast survival horror game.
And let's just talk about that.
What she damseled over wasn't even that bad. The majority of what she got was there
was just typical.
It was just typical statements on the internet.
They will.
Kathy Young. Oh, I think I follow that woman on Twitter. She's nice.
Find some jerk on the internet saying something really, really asinine, or actually somebody deliberately trolling, somebody deliberately saying, sexist things to upset.
Sounds like it fit in an old game. D. I fucked her. You fucked Kathy Young.
Really toxic kind of
good for you, dude.
I think people know by now that feminists get really, really upset by things people say on the internet. So if you want to get someone,
she sounds like a fucking Valley girl. She sounds like a Valley girl. So whatever.
One of the easiest way to do that is
whatever.
And,
you are a despicable whore. Hey, thanks. It wasn't easy. Kill yourself, feminist, or a waste of air. Also, more games should have girl characters half naked. Well, Tomb Raider really wasn't half naked. She had pants and shirts.
Make a rape joke or say something misogynist or whatever, and then you know.
Put these women in a sewing sweatshop. Wow.
Just kind of spin out of control. And one of the things that I found really amazing is that these comments, you know, you find one idiotic comment that somebody makes on Facebook, and then it's, you know, it gets screen capped and it gets posted with you know, a comment like, oh, well, yeah, tell me that we don't live in a deeply misogynist society when, you know, somebody said this and that.
They are too incompetent and lazy to even manage that low bar. Yeah.
You know, raping unconscious women or something. Well, okay, first of all, it is one person who said this. You know,
There's one person who said this. Yeah.
And secondly, I'm not even sure that the person who posted that actually believes it. Yeah, you know, more likely than not, they posted it because they know that idiots like you are going to screen cap it and, you know, send it around the internet and, you know, wring their hands about it.
Anita's two worst experiences happened in the fall of 2014. In late August, she received threatening messages on Twitter that were undeniably disturbing.
Even Wu made his own game. Anita could never make something. Yeah, that's true. John Flint made a video game. It wasn't a good game, but it was a video game. This is August 26, 2014. I am safe. Authorities have been notified. Staying with friends tonight. I'm not giving up, but this harassment of women in tech must stop.
And claimed that she spent the night with friends.
Jamal made several games. Jamal made several games. Jamal also ate his own shit.
General indifference from law enforcement. When reached for comment, San Francisco Police Press Liaison Albi Esparza.
Anita made babies cry because I fucked her. Anita got blacked.
Initially reported that there was no record of Anita having called the police that night, neither in the form of a police report or in the form of dispatch records. But then speculated that perhaps the records had disappeared because they were...
This is from Milo Yiannopoulos, who is a gay Jewish guy and a Fed. I've just another conversation with the San Francisco PD. They say they are aware that in Sarkeesian case is being dealt with by the FBI. Hey, Master Plague. Jamal's still around. They don't have records of calls made in August, which may or may not be because the case was handed off to federal agencies. Milo's
handed off to the FBI.
There was a time when Milo Yiannopoulos was a popular guy. Nowadays, he's just a fucking pedophile Fed.
But police don't just delete reports and dispatch logs from their databases, do they? Questions about Anita's relationship to law enforcement were compacted when she was threatened with assassination if she spoke at the University of Utah in October of 2014. Police investigated the threats and found that there was no cause for concern, but Anita canceled the event anyway, citing concern over the state's gun carry laws. Robert O'Hare, a writer for A Voice for Men, reached out to the Utah State University Chief of Police for more information.
This threats that
Nice fucking sound quality. Hey, World Wide Web Wizard, what's up, buddy? World Wide Web Wizard. Nice fucking sound quality, Owen. Really nice fucking sound quality. It sounds like he's talking to it in a fucking toilet paper tube. Does it sound like I'm on old time radio?
He received was consistent with other threats she had faced at previous talks and previous presentations, and including
Welcome
online.
to Utah.
And those threats had never amounted to any action. And the experts
wax coil recording. Yeah, it sounds like old time radio. Like I'm listening to like George fucking The War of the Worlds by fucking Orson Welles. Sounds like you should be reading a Lucky Strike ad. Yeah.
Law enforcement experts who were assessing such things were suggested that leads them to believe that the threat is not real.
The threat is not real.
although the letter itself was threatening a follow-up, that they would not expect a follow-up.
Law enforcement was unimpressed with the supposed threats, and to date, no actual attack on Anita's well-being or any arrests have ever occurred. She did, however, get tremendous...
Am I listening to Missing Watergate tapes?
Support.
No, you're listening to Missing Gamergate tapes.
From the press.
Same thing.
With Anita's status as a professional victim firmly in place, she took to the lecture circuit, proposing new laws and regulations that were an ominous violation of constitutional liberty.
Civil rights laws need to be updated to criminalize threats motivated by gender bias, not just racial bias. Go home, gamer girl. Even more important than Watergate. Plaintiffs should be able to sue abusers under pseudonyms in civil case to protect their identities.
Such as the Kafkaesque ability for plaintiffs to sue under a pseudonym, a violation of the right of due process and the right to face one's accusers. As the debate raged on about the legitimacy of Anita's claims, she did something inexplicable. On Tuesday, August 13th, 2013, she posted an entry on her Tumblr and her...
Sorry, Chud. Unknown asterisk female internet personality gets to talk in the UN.
Twitter, which linked to a fan fiction someone had written about her. The piece begins in a cartoony, humorous manner as she breaks into the offices of Gearbox Studios with the help of Spider.
To be fair, I'd help Anita Sarkeesian kill Randy Pitchford. I like Duke Nukem, but I don't like what Randy Pitchford did to Duke Nukem. And I don't like what he did to aliens, colonial marines, and a few other things. Randy Pitchford sucks. And I'm pretty sure he's a pedophile. In
she
Minecraft.
Then confronts Gearbox founder Randy Pitchford in his office.
Sound like he was about to say Anita blew up a building.
And it is here that the story shifts in tone, becoming darker and more serious, as Anita is described.
The guy that played Duke Nukem voiced the Obleed Trail. That's John St. John. He also played Big the Cat in Sonic Adventure. And he doesn't even like referencing the fact that he played Big the Cat. And he can't even do the voice. Anita was behind the Oklahoma City bombing.
Randy Pitchford at gunpoint, taunting and torturing him before finally murdering him in cold blood. The piece reads,
"Kill him, Anita! I've got bowls of fill." There goes my phone.
In the grand hall of Gearbox Studios. Anita, why? I said I wanted to change, Randy said. He clutched at his open wounds. Blood was dripping in gouts. That's for aliens, colonial marines, she said. Randy looked at her again, first with anger, but then with a look of complete understanding, as though deep down he'd known that it was always going to end this way. He sighed one last time, and then died. What did the real Anita have to say about this disturbing fan fiction? She said simply, I think I kinda like it. Why would Anita
What's
Sarkeesian,
even white? Carl the liberalist. That's not badass, Anita.
Game culture, herself the target of a beat-up game and apparently countless death and rape threats, endorsed the spread of such a chilling snuff narrative, one that, were it directed at her, would likely have been held up as harassment. No answer was ever given. Instead, the official Anita story, the heroic tale of a brave girl who innocently dared to take a stand against harassment on the internet, was the only tale the media ever told.
I have stared into the void, and the void stared into me, and neither of us liked what we saw. Anita was right about Sargon. Yes, she was. She was also right about Boogie, too. Anita was making fun of Boogie 2988. Sargon smart.
Well, I had become aware online after seeing some videos that
Alex
she had
Hinckley?
Previously worked with a man named Bart Baggett, and Bart Baggett was listed on a pickup artist directory.
That guy looks like a character from fucking Better Call Saul. He looks like he should be in like a fucking like Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad show.
For his work, writing a book about, I guess, pickup artistry. I guess that.
Bart Baggett's The Secret to Making Love Happen. Mastering your relationships using handwriting analysis and NLP. Do you know you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
So after that, I went onto her Wikipedia article. And anybody can edit Wikipedia, but I've actually been an editor there since 2006. So I've had a long history of editing.
She's 19. Oh shit, Anita, you're 40 years old this year. Anita Sarkeesian's 40 years old. 40, you're old. You're old, Anita. Chapter 1, force your way in.
I had over 1,000
40 years old, Anita.
And I was reading through her article and I saw no mention of this. And I
Beau
thought
is
it was
40, wow.
pretty important because why would the face of feminism have previously worked with someone who was a pickup artist?
Anita
Sarkeesian.
Sarkeesian.
Like a contradiction.
Yeah.
So what I did was I knew that there was a lot of controversy surrounding her, so I didn't want to edit the article just flat out. So I went onto her talk page and I made an edit
David
there,
Bew glider walks.
asking if
Ew,
perhaps
Grandma.
this should be
You'll be
included
40 in
the
5
article.
years. Don't remind me. Also, it's different for guys.
And then I cited the.
But don't remind me. I'm an
which
old
was her
man.
own- an archived version of her own website, stating on her resume that she had indeed worked with him.
Yeah.
And then, in addition to that, on his website, she's listed as someone who coordinated his.
I'm like
talks.
50.
So on his website and her website, it was listed. So it's not like an in dispute fact here.
At
Well,
40, people will
originally,
start to
another
listen
editor
to you.
had
Whoa,
come along
nice.
almost instantaneously, so it must have been on his watch list. And he edited out my comments. He edited Bart Baggett's name out, and he edited the sources out. And then almost comically,
I'm older
he
than you,
replied to
Joey.
my
Wow,
comment saying,
gaseous.
You need to cite your sources.
Old man.
And knowing that I didn't want to get into an edit war myself, I then went onto the staff page for
Joey's old enough to be my dad. How young are you, musicology?
Wikipedia asking the administrators for help. And upon doing that, the first administrator to reply was a feminist administrator who came in and he said he was an uninvolved party, which
Bart probably had a great time in school with his last
Yes,
name.
Kevin
Yeah.
Gorman.
Me whap you with
and
my
then
cane
he
after
agreed
telling you
that
to
the user
get off
edited
my
out my
lawn.
comments
I'm old enough to be
said
Joey's dad.
because I
Thank God,
his edits,
the Unadonai, that I am not old
receiving
enough
a
to be a
2-week
boomer,
ban,
but not young enough to be a
and that
zoomer.
he then applied
Same,
an indefinite
same,
ban
Mask Man.
onto any Gamergate-related articles, despite the fact that the edits I was making to her talk page had nothing to do with Gamergate, but just her personal work history. And it seems like every time people forget about her, that she does something or says something that will inflame other people and send her right back into media attention.
All right, that's the first part. All right, we got, second part. Yeah, the second part. All right. All right, let me play this.
The recent shooting in the high school in Washington State, this was really disgusting. Just within
There's the Money Badgers again. Surprisingly, you don't see Allison there. That's weird.
a few hours.
No Allison, no Brian, no Anna Cherry. Just Karen, Hannah, and Elizabeth.
After the shooting,
Rachel.
She
Fuck.
started tweeting about toxic masculinity.
We need to seriously address connections between violent sexism and toxic ideas of manhood before boys and men commit more mass shootings. The most recent mass shooting was done by a fucking female tranny, so, you know. Watching news about school shootings today in Seattle, and honestly, I'm sort of shaking with fear and with rage. What happened to Countercucks? Contra Edition? I'm a Zoomer, and I was giving me a hand-me-down PS2 and an N64 as a kid. Nice.
Bodies weren't cold yet.
That's cool, musicology.
There was one body, the boy that shot. He had died. Nobody else had even died yet. And it was
Raised
like,
on the goods? Yes.
I can,
N64 is good shit.
from an errand, and I get online because I just started
Like she can get attention.
hearing about this on the news. I didn't even hear where it was. I just heard a radio station that was local to my area reporting a school shooting. And I didn't hear what school. Or I didn't hear that it wasn't local to my area or anything.
Yeah.
And I come home and I'm looking it up online and everything. And I learned, see the stuff about the school and then...
Honestly, we can fix the next generation if we never tell them the internet exists. When I was a kid, we played with a stick outside. There's Karen. Karen looking like she's about to throw up.
It's
Our culture is deeply sick when simply asking questions about how toxic forms of masculinity may harm men leads to hours of hate on Twitter. That's because, bitch, you're actually telling men that they're toxic. There's a difference between toxic forms of masculinity and just saying, men, you suck. You're doing the latter. That's why you're failing. Truly, internet and social media 24/7 has degraded humanity further.
She didn't even know the full cause of this has not...
Social media has automatized society.
Totally.
There's a guy that wrote a book about this. His name is it's called Industrial Society and Its Future. It's a good book.
There was discussion about this kid being bullied over his race.
Real toxic masculinity, physically abused. Yes.
And then, then there was his social situation with the girl.
Never setting an example. Good old Uncle Ted. Ted Kaczynski.
To nail it down and say, well, it's just this one thing. I'm gonna shoehorn it in here so that I can fit it into my ideology and make this ideological statement about it. And she did a couple more tweets like that. Started putting up her Patreon.
Oh, you can hear the fucking microphone move around. It's like, dude, did you not like fucking edit your fucking video? Jesus.
And then she bitched
Her
about
PayPal.
getting a denial of service attack. Like, oh gosh, what's wrong with you people that you won't let me make money from this, from whining about this? It was like she had this orgasmic thrill over, oh look, I have a tragedy to explain.
I think that the reason that she's been so successful is because of her work history and training with Alex Mandossian as a teleseminar expert and with working with Bart Baggett as an NLP expert.
Hey. I want there to be a tweet of Anita saying, Joey, come out, coward, I'm outside of your apartment. I'd fucking love that. Yo, if Anita Sarkeesian actually just said, hey, I'm outside your apartment, Joey, I'd be like, all right, come on in. I'd fucking walk her up this thing and I'd have her on this fucking stream with me.
Well, it's Alex Mandossian again, and it's another...
Anita doesn't even feel like a feminist to me. She's like Saul Goodman. But instead of being like a lawyer or like a ambulance-chasing lawyer, she just became an internet scam artist instead.
Another teleseminar secrets tip. I'm in my car right now and driving around, and I want you to know that you can build your business through teleseminars in teaching and training your affiliates who are treasure maps.
Where are you interviewing this hacker known as 4chan? The deadly hacker
Lead the treasure
known as 4chan.
Treasure maps.
Hi, my name is Anita Sarkeesian. I'm from Los Angeles, California, and my
This was from 2007, so like 15 years ago.
website is neonandchrome.com.
Neon and Chrome, remember that.
I just want to let you all know how amazing Alex's teleseminar secrets was. It really motivated me to get
She's clearly reading off a fucking title card.
my own business started. In my current day job, I saw how teleseminars could change the face of your business and make a lot of money, but I didn't really understand how it worked. And I'm only 23, and I've already started my own business promoting teleseminars for small...
What if you met Anita and she believes nothing she grifted off and she wants to play Contra? I'd do that. Fuck. I'd play Contra with Anita. Shit, that'd be fun. You could play hardcore together. That game's fun.
businesses around me, and it's really made a huge impact on my life.
As it turned out, there was a gap in the story Anita told about herself. The life story she sold to the media.
What if she wants to cook? I'd do that too. Shit. I've never eaten Armenian food. It might be good.
Gamer girl who discovered feminism in college and decided to combine her two great passions failed to mention the years she'd spent.
I don't know any Armenian dishes. Neither do I, dude.
Gurus. To date, Anita has never spoken publicly about her background working with Baggett or endorsing Mandossian, but time and again she seems to employ the techniques they use. One particularly ominous.
The Maddox is another famous internet Armenian. Maddox is Armenian? I did not know that. The only Armenians I knew were Anita Sarkeesian and Kim Kardashian.
Method is the concept of cognitive dissonance.
Let me repeat that. Cognitive dissonance. That's a scenario.
Yes, he is. Wow. I'm learning something every day.
Where if you give a complete...
George Ozu. Oh, that sounds fucking, yeah.
Picture, but little morsels of it, and then you're asking your customer or prospect to fill in the blanks or fill in the complete picture, they will have a dissonance and they will feel uneasy until they complete that picture. It's a very simple psychological term. I use it all the time.
Presenting a vaguely worded response that allows people to fill in the gaps is exactly what Anita did.
Maddox is baby's first internet edgelord. Really milquetoast by today's standards. You know what? I was on the internet for a long time. I've been on the internet since the 1990s, and I did not know Maddox until Dick Masterson. What if Anita came rushing to your house and said to Joey, I need your help? Shit, I'd do that. The International Gamergate click.
When news of her past began to circulate through internet channels.
As for the charge of brainwashing, I'm sorry to say there are no subliminal mind control blipverts embedded in my educational video essays, but I do like to think that my rhetorical arguments are pretty good.
Conspiracy theory whitewashing. Look at the crowd. Oh, fuck. Poor man's Maddox. He called himself Tubus.
No subliminal mind control blipverts embedded in my educational video essays, but I do like to think that my rhetorical arguments are pretty good.
Look at that crowd. Look how white that crowd is. There's like an Asian guy up front, and like everyone else is fucking white. This is whiter than the fucking mood is in the audience. Wow. Your big kissable lips are buck-breaking Joey into believing you.
At no point does Anita actually address the real concerns about her past. All she does is present a straw version of the accusation.
Not only white, very low T, yeah.
And invite her audience to join her in a laugh. And so the cognitive dissonance allows her flock to write off the accusations against her without a further.
Has Mood officially come out of the closet yet? I don't know.
Thought. After beginning her YouTube channel in 2009, Antia Sarkeesian's fame as tech feminism's it girl would continue to skyrocket. And just as her star was on the rise, so was...
Look at that fucking Bloomberg Business Week video game Avenger. It looks like a... That looks like a fucking, like, a box art for a fucking graphics card you'd buy for a computer in the 1990s. That looks like a box art for like a graphics card for like the 90s.
The mounting frustration among gamers who were tired of being scapegoated.
Because it gives her a sense of being able to
Is that picture of Moot holding his dick real? I don't know.
Manipulate what people believe and what people think. So she's able to portray herself in the way that she wants to be portrayed.
Please say in Empty's voice. Girl, look at them big kissable lips. I want to hold you and I want to kiss you on the mouth. Girl, look at those big kissable lips. I don't know any Spanish. I'm really bad with Spanish, sadly. A gif of Moot taking on stage. His body was super feminine. Thank you
and that
so
helps
much.
further her own goals. Okay. When people think that she's been a victim of something, then it allows her to play the pity card, I guess. And then she can say basically whatever she wants.
Let's be abundantly clear about something. Death and rape threats are deplorable and indefensible, no matter who the target. But a growing number of gamers, many hundreds of thousands...
Jonathan Irons. The only question left is, will FemFreak be raped first or killed first or both? I'm going to come to your house and violently rape you in front of your family, FemFreak. I'm going to skeet in your mouth.
We're fed up with seeing legitimate criticisms of Antia Sarkeesian's arguments and ethics being written off as harassment. A storm was brewing in the gaming...
DIY Pickles, Fifth Harmony versus Fashion Show, The Beagles.
...community, one that would eventually explode in late 2014. But for the time being, Antia Sarkeesian...
You're not a real gamer unless you've been told to kill yourself.
...public...
Say, me cago en tu puta madre, phonetically. Me cago en tu puta madre. I don't know what I just said. I know puta means bitch And I know madre means death, so I think I just told a bitch to kill herself.
Bulletproof that even video footage that contradicted
Clean.
her claim to have been a lifelong gamer could not shake her reputation.
I'm going to show you a remix that I just finished this weekend and no one else has seen.
Lol, clean. I shit on your fucking mother of the or the I shit on the whore of your mother.
One
Wow.
person has seen it. It's a soundtrack of one song, except I'm doing video games. So it's not exactly a fandom. I'm not a fan of video games.
Or shit in your mother, depends on what she's into.
I actually had to learn a lot about video games in the process of making this. And also, video games, like, I would love to play video games, but I don't want to go around shooting people and ripping off their heads, and it's just gross. So, hence, this is my response to that.
Nothing about Anita.
So she doesn't even like game. This bitch doesn't even like gaming. She just said, yeah, I'm going to come in here and just fucking... Not only when you read it phonetically, it sounded very real. Wow. So not only did she not like video games, she didn't understand video games, and she still managed to, like, co-opt and covert the hobby. Like, people still listen to this woman. They still listen to her.
The story added up, and the long gaps in her timeline that went unacknowledged by the mainstream media made it difficult to take her seriously. And soon enough, she was drawing comparison to the man once considered the greatest anti-video game crusader of them all. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s,
Nah, no one listens to Anita anymore. Yeah, true. Except for, you know what? I'm gonna grab me some vodka. Say, quiero follar a Anita. Quiero follar Anita Negro. Forbid Arts. I'm pretty sure I just said a bad thing in Spanish.
no
Spanish cuss words sound like baby talk in English. Yeah.
name was more synonymous with opposition to video games than Jack Thompson.
Hillary Clinton. Fuck, who was that Jewish guy? He tried to go after Mortal Kombat. I can't remember his name.
An activist attorney known for his highly litigious public displays against gaming and gamers, Thompson was public enemy number one in the gaming community until his eventual disbarment in 2008. 4 years later, critics of Antia Sarkeesian...
The double standard. Video games promote violence. They cause people who play them to become violent. Video games can only be acceptable if things I personally deem violent are removed. I personally disagree with me. You're clearly a violent psychopath and you support the corruption of children. Was ignored, forgotten. Sexist games promote sexism. They cause people who play them to become sexist. Video games can only be acceptable if things I like personally deem sexist are removed. Disagree, got 60. Yeah, she
began
got a lot
to
of
hail
money.
her as the next Jack Thompson. Anita and her supporters were quick to denounce the comparison, saying that they weren't out to ban video games.
That guy, remember Control-Alt-Delete cartoon about that controversy? Yeah. There was that, yeah. That guy right there, Jonathan Mann, he used to be called Game Jew, and he used to make videos for Screw Attack where he would wear like a Super Mario hat and overalls, and he'd make songs about the Game Boy. He sucks. He's always sucked. Even back then, when I watched him on Screw Attack, I thought he sucked. I think I like watched a half a second of a video, and I was like, this guy blows. This guy fucking sucks. Also, he's Jewish.
We're not Jack Thompson. We don't want anything banned.
He made a song about being a beta. Yeah, Game Jew. There she is.
But what was the real story? Was Jack Thompson actually out to ban video games? And more importantly, what did he think of Anita?
Yo, the fact that they actually got fucking Jack Thompson, also a nice house, by the way. The fact Jew Wario wasn't, no, he was not ethnically Jewish, he was religiously Jewish. He converted to Judaism for his wife. The fact that they actually got Jack Thompson in this movie is actually pretty cool. I can give Jordan Owen that. He got Jack Thompson in his movie. Also, nice house, Jack.
Well, let me say that if I were the Jack Thompson described at Wikipedia or certain gaming sites, I probably would have killed myself a long time ago, which might have been construed to be urban renewal. But
Where he has a nice house, he's a boomer. Shabo Scoil like John Goodman and Big Lebowski. Well, he was also a former lawyer for several years, so the lawyers make good money.
Mark Twain once wrote that a crank is someone with a new idea until it works. My focus, my personal preference as to what I've done, what I did as an attorney when I was still an attorney, was to forge a civil litigative remedy for this problem.
Even I don't know how much public defenders make. All right, I'm just talking about basic lawyers. I'm pretty sure they make good money.
That we're talking about, and that is the sale of adult or mature-rated entertainment products to kids. You know, the question arises, am I in favor of censorship? My email address is amendment1@comcast.net. And
so if you want to send Jack Thompson a message, you just go to amendment1@comcast.net. Just say you saw him on Joey JoJo's stream and you want to say hi. Actually, you can be an unsuccessful lawyer and have a nice house. Just look at Rackets. True. No. Actually, yeah, email him there and try to get him on my stream.
Well, that's fine. All the gamers have it. Yeah. So, and I encourage them, if they would simply not threaten to kill me to prove that the games have no effect on them, I welcome their emails. Yeah. So they're welcome to have that. The question is, am I in favor of censorship? Do I want to limit the First Amendment? No.
Rackets, lol.
The bright red law.
I already signed them up on black people. Me and black. Get him signed up on the Baldo thing too. That's funny.
For me, has always been, and if anybody wants to check my public and private record on this, and I've been engaged on this issue since 1987.
Sign him up for the Baldo. Yes.
And it is this, that adult entertainment should be available to adults.
The Baldo.
Under the First Amendment, they can get it, but that it should not be available to anyone under that age of adulthood, which is at 18, or as it applies to the video game rating, under 17. So no, I'm not for censorship. I believe...
Fuck, they actually make Jack Thompson sound sensible. Like, I get it. I don't like you, but I get it.
Free society, adults should be able to get adult material. But because young brains are literally different structurally and functionally than adult brains, there is a neurobiological basis for my concern. So when it comes to the satire that's evident in Grand Theft Auto, 13-year-olds don't really get satire.
To be fair, I played Grand Theft Auto and I didn't shoot up my school, but I didn't really get a lot of the satire in there. I got some of it, but I didn't get all of it. But yeah, he's kind of bullshit, but like I kind of get what he's saying.
They get the violence.
Rackets has seen Jim's face and is represented. I don't think so.
That's my position. My position is real simple. It's been morphed into Jack Thompson hates all video games. Jack Thompson wants to take your games away if you're 25. Jack Thompson wants to repeal the First Amendment and so forth. No, the issue is, should the industry continue to market and sell mature-rated games to kids under the age of 17? And it's surprising how many hardcore gamers, once they hear that's my position, agree with me. So here's the neurobiological basis for the, quote, censorship, which is not censorship at all. It's an age-based restriction of the availability of a product, which in a free society...
Jim probably got a real lawyer like Legal. He looks more like Lionel Hutz by the day. Which one, Jack Thompson or Nick Rekieta?
Alcohol, the sale of firearms, obscene entertainment, and so forth, tobacco. Everybody gets the notion that there's certain products that kids, outside the presence of their parents or guardians, should not be allowed to buy because
Both.
Parents are the ones who decide whether
This
or not
isn't the lie.
drink or smoke or whatever.
Thompson's primary concern was children's safety, but it seemed to be...
Who would win in a fist fight, Anita Sarkeesian or Jack Thompson? Like a drag-out, fucking slug-out fucking fist fight, like in the alley, like Rocky V.
Be tempered with a deep respect.
Honestly, I think Anita. Anita seems like a slugger. Anita seems like someone like you wouldn't take her seriously, but then she's like fucking you up 6 ways from Sunday, and then because she's a gyp, she'll steal your wallet.
Respect for the constitutional rights afforded in a free country. And contrary
Or they
to these
live.
claims,
Yeah.
she had in fact called for outright censorship. We asked Jack what he thought of this comment from Anita's video.
Anita can use her nose as a hook.
on
Just poke her in the
gender
eye.
advertising.
I was originally going to say that we need to hold the media accountable for what they're teaching our young people, but no, really? Advertising directed
Oh, she has a lip piercing.
specifically at young people needs to stop. Altogether, no exceptions. A precedent has already been set to implement these types of restrictions. Quebec has banned print and broadcast advertisements for youth under the age of 13, and Sweden has banned advertisements for youth under the age of 12.
Swedes get raped by fucking migrants.
Well, there's
And I don't know about Quebec. I don't really bother fuck with Canadians. The only time I fuck with Canadians is when I'm watching Kids in the Hall.
a little thing that I'm not sure she's fully aware of, and that's called the First Amendment.
Oh!
There might be some moral suasion.
Imagine getting dunked on by fucking Jack Thompson. All advertising is shit. Canada isn't a real country.
That could be exercised urging people who make all sorts of products to not market them to kids. But if she's talking about legislated restrictions, that I don't think that can be done. Well, based on what I've seen that she's done, she's very free with her opinions and doesn't seem to have a lot of evidence. I guess she's...
If Canada would sink, no one would notice. Yeah.
Got a feminist take on all this, and she's concerned about the...
If 2007 me would see me sitting here agreeing with Jack Thompson, he would be pissed. In my head, Jack Thompson was like the worst person in the world, besides like George W. Bush.
Typing and stereotyping of women in certain products. You know, as someone who's represented sexually...
Sure they would. They would smell and prove.
And children, I'm a little more concerned about the violence against women rather than the stereotyping of women. Best I can tell, it's kind of a feminist...
I noticed they cut out parts of this interview, and I wish I could have the actual interview because I want to know what he said.
Whereas I'm trying to stop
We need Squeaker Joey screaming at old man Joey.
violence, or was, which I think is a more immediate and more severe problem. Maybe she's addressing attitudinal issues, and good for her, but...
Canucks are basically Euro
I
cucks.
think
Oh.
we got more immediate problems than that. You know, it's kind of like taking on...
Can you make an impression of young Joey? Picture me, but like a left-leaning atheist centrist, basically. That's basically it. I didn't like feminism because I watched a lot of Married with Children as a kid, and I didn't like religion because I was like an edgy teenager during the Bush administration. And yeah, I didn't believe in God, and I didn't like women. Basically, 911 using Donkey Kong, so it's bullshit. Everyone.
Fundamentalist Islamists. I think we need to be more concerned about Islamic State than about women wearing burqas.
A lot of the yeah.
You know, it's maybe part of the whole thing, but she's, to me, she's kind of on the fringes of more legitimate concerns.
And what about the death threats?
Mashallah.
Hadn't Thompson gotten them as well?
I mean, the death threats, frankly, I've seen her using as sort of...
I will say, and I'm not proud of this, now I need to make a Fedora edit of Joe. Yes, please. The Osama bin Laden had a ROM. Yes, he did. He loved Naruto. Hey, EOF, man, I can't believe Gamergate was missed. SNES ROMs. You can check it out. I can say, and I'm not proud of this, I did send Jack Thompson, like, death threats back in the day. Gamergate was 9 years ago. Almost 10 years ago. How time flies. So, Jack Thompson, I apologize. I did not understand. And I did not know that worse things would happen after you. Fucking Movie Bob said that. During the Jack Thompson shit, Movie Bob said, if Jack Thompson goes away, then like someone else worse will come. And someone else worse did.
Of a self-promotion thing, which kind of...
I apologize, Jack Thompson. You're all right.
It bugs me. There are people in real danger in this society on a daily basis. I don't think going to Utah State. I have a mug from there. I'll show you before you leave.
And his name was Movie Bob.
Where I spoke at Utah State, and it was a hostile situation as well. But you know, to set up magnetometers and check everybody for guns and so forth, I think is just a little.
Suddenly they mention in the interview, and here's some mail from Joey JoJo, age 10. Honestly, I'd be like 17, or 16, 17, 18 by that time, actually. Joey, no!
So.
Yeah, I wouldn't be 10 years old. That's too young. I'd be like 17 or 18 when Jack Thompson was around. That was like 2007. 2006.
You need to be careful about charges of self-promotion and hyping and talking around the edges of a real problem. I wouldn't be too concerned about the death threats. I've probably had 10 times or 100 times as many as you.
Joey was 10. He was causing 9/11. Actually, 9/11 happened when I was like, let's see, 2011, 2001. I was like 12 years old. Yeah, September 2001. I was 12 years old.
My experience is the people who threaten to kill you.
11 or 12 years old.
The ones who don't threaten to kill you, who kill you, and or more.
He kind of reminds me of Leslie Nielsen. Doesn't Jack Thompson remind you of Leslie Nielsen? Like, he's like Leslie Nielsen in a movie. Frank Drebin, Police Squad.
More likely are going to kill you. So the death threats, I was always glad to get, because I figured
I was like 2. Oh, little boy.
Expression that that individual was going to make in my direction. But she's sort of in this miasmic. I don't think this ought to be done because this changes attitudes thing, and it doesn't make somebody want to march to war with her. I don't think. Well, she received an award from somebody. I don't think I would have received accepted an award from somebody in the video game industry. Famously, Charles Lindbergh received an award.
I was 21. Wow, he looks like my dad.
From the Third Reich, from Hitler.
Based. Charles Lindbergh, number 1.
His, credibility in the America First movement. Not to compare the video game industry to the Third Reich, but I think the point is, when you start receiving awards, and I watched her acceptance of it, it was kind of...
Wears the same shirts, and he is all gray-haired. Wow.
Over the top, sort of giggly. I think you undercut your credibility as a critic. One of the problems that I sense Antia Sarkeesian has is she's trying too hard to be liked. You can't really do this work like I've done and others have done and have any.
So, Gaseous, I'm guessing you were born in 1980. Warriors or the Shire? You would, Anita? You know what? I would, Anita. She has really nice lips, and she reminds me of Blossom. That's nice. You know, Blossom's cute. At least I thought Blossom was cute. She has nice lips. Imagine going up to Anita and just giving her a big old kiss on the lips. Just
any molecule that wants.
I was born when Alien came out. Nice.
For you as a person, I sense. Maybe I'm wrong, but I sense that about her.
You're as old as my brother-in-law. Wow. Because my brother-in-law is about the same age. He's pretty cool. Are you Vic? You're the same age as the characters from Revelations Persona. I want to hear more Sargon. I don't know if Sargon's in this video. He might be.
Get awards from industry or at the end of the day be liked about this, because if you're going to be a warrior on something, your job is to wage war. And not to win the hearts of your opponents. Yeah. She's, so
I was 9 when you were born. Wow.
That, it upsets her if she's not liked. Somebody once said there's nothing more thrilling than being shot.
Carl fucking Benjamin.
And miss you. So
the liberalist.
That was the feeling
I can't do a smuckle. Jim.
Certain people are going to be your enemies, and you can't try and persuade them not to be.
Jack Thompson left us with a lot to think about. While we didn't agree with all of his claims about the effects of games or his methods, it was clear that his campaign had a concise and definite goal that respected constitutional law, while Anita seemed hell-bent on reshaping the whole of gaming culture in her image. Most remarkable, however, was hearing
Sargon
of
Dunning
our thoughts on Anita's unorthodox methods of self-promotion. But Anita was...
I would. I honestly would. She's not a bad-looking woman. She has nice eyes. She looks all right. Nice lips.
Wasn't alone. Professional victimhood was quickly...
All right, these other people? Fuck no. Especially John Flint down there. Hey, Mr. Vids! I need to watch all of Daniel's from SL's content. I want to bring in Linkara, and he starts reviewing a comic book in front of Jack. It would accuse you of having Dunning-Kruger.
Becoming a cottage industry among...
Big Red. All right, I'm going to say this. Big Red is a bitch. Anita Sarkeesian, totally. Anna Kasparian is cute, but Anita, I would Anita. All right. Big Red doesn't deserve nearly all these people. That black woman got someone fired. Sui Parker's a bitch. I don't know who that woman with the pink hair, curly cues is. John Flint, fuck him. The woman in the bottom tried to get a fucking Marine fired. More into hate fucking. But yeah, Big Red doesn't really deserve... She was just a bitch to some protesters. She was a bitch. She didn't try to get people fired or anything. She was just rude to men's rights activists. Oh, well. And now she was like a meme. She was like a meme for like over a decade. A decade now, actually. Like, yeah, she was a cunt. But she doesn't deserve to be a meme. Yeah, Big Red. Big Red has nudes? Wow.
Social justice warrior feminine.
And there's Zoe Quinn. Zoe Quinn deserves everything she gets. She is a fucking monster. She caused the guy to commit suicide. Fuck her. Zoe Quinn is a bitch. The road to hell is paved with publicity stunts. Chuck Palahniuk.
Anita wasn't the only woman getting torrents of hate.
Human palate virus Quinn.
Online. There seemed to be a new explosion of women receiving hateful comments, one of the earliest examples of which was Rebecca Watson.
Yeah, a guy... Alright, what happened with Rebecca Watson was the author of Fight Club. Oh, wow. What happened with Rebecca Watson was a guy flirted with her at an atheist convention Can you say anti-establishmentarianism? I can kind of say that. A guy flirted with her in an elevator during an atheist conference. She made a video saying, "Hey, don't flirt with me in an atheist conference." And that caused a schism in the atheist community and one of the first culture wars done to a nerdy niche group. Oh, fuck off.
In 2011, Rebecca Watson spoke at an atheist convention on the topic
I
of
can't
misogyny
say that.
and sexism in the atheist community. Later that night, she had an unnerving experience.
At the bar later that night, actually at 4 in the morning, we were at the hotel bar. 4 a.m. I said, I've had enough, guys. I'm exhausted. Going to
Fear. Sick. Oh, that's what that is?
bed. So I walked to the elevator, and a man got on the elevator with me and said, "Don't take this the wrong way, but I find you very interesting, and I would like to talk more. Would you like to come to my hotel room for coffee?" Just a word to the wise here, guys.
Spear of spoon clanking.
Don't do that.
I would have walked up to Rebecca Watson and it'll be like, "Bitch, I want to skeet in your mouth. Come to my room now." All right, I wouldn't have said that to her, but if I look like fuck that guy, that like really attractive criminal that all the incels talk about, that one dude with like he's like a model now, I would have said that. I would have like, "Bitch, I'm gonna skeet in your mouth now. Come to my hotel room." All right, I wouldn't have said that to her even if I was attractive. That's inappropriate. You shouldn't say something like that to a woman unless she wants it.
I don't really know how
She looks a 4 out of 10 best.
else to explain how this makes me incredibly uncomfortable, but I'll just sort of lay it out that I was a single woman, in a foreign country at 4 a.m. in a hotel elevator with you, just you, and don't invite me back to your hotel room right after I finished talking about how
Nah, she's not fat.
it creeps me out and makes me uncomfortable.
A feminist in the atheist community hang out.
Wow, this fucking sound. This sound is really bad. The background music is louder than the actual voice acting. Jeremy. Oh, yeah, that's the guy. Jeremy Meeks. He's the really hot guy that was like, "I'm a criminal. I fucking beat people up, and I got arrested for beating people up, but women want me." And he's like basically like an example of incels being like, "Yeah, it's not your personality, it's how you look."
In a bar till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then when she went back to her room, she was propositioned for coffee in an elevator, which if you're being propositioned in an elevator,
Joey, say what?
4 in the morning.
What is this? Disfortunatamente. I don't know what the fuck that is. Are you trying to make me read like Deadite shit? Do you want me to rise Deadites?
Coffee, I think we're all aware of what code we're talking about.
Thunderkai, Bonerman.
But fundamentally, that was it. That's where it finished. She said no, and that was it. And the next day, she sort of comes out how this just proves her point.
Unfortunately.
About how sexist atheist conferences are. Now, there are two problems with this. First of all, it's not even known if the person who...
Trying to get your ass in the army of darkness. Yeah, he's trying to get me to, like, revive Deadites.
Coffee was even an atheist, or whether he's even at the conference.
Let's make Britain great again. That's what it means.
Or he was just someone who happened to be at the bar till 4 in the morning. And I think, it's one of those things that if people are actually hanging out at in a bar till 4 in the morning, this is sort of the arena where people do tend to proposition each other. It is this sort of environment where you expect that to happen. But she claimed that this was actually something that men just shouldn't do. Now, what in reality that's doing is...
Thundercock lost his mind when Brexit... Yes, he did.
it's saying
He
that men
snapped
must
after
be mind
Brexit.
readers. You know, if this guy had propositioned her in the elevator, had been the man of her dreams, and they'd gone off into the...
Honestly, Rebecca Watson and all this shit made me... So, like, if I go to an elevator and I see a woman's in there and just a woman, I'll fucking take the stairs. Like, this shit has actually scared me off of being alone with women. I know I shouldn't. I know all of them aren't like this, but fuck it.
Into the sunset together, we would never have heard about any of this. But it turns out that that wasn't what, you know, he wasn't the man of her dreams, and it never happened. And so this was now offensive. This was something that men shouldn't do.
Thundercock lost
Guys
his
don't
mind.
do that. And
Yes, he
the thing
did.
that really great with
Moon
most
cricket.
people, when she generalizes that all guys
The moment
should
her
hit
hottie woman
on
left him.
girls is that actually, you know, this is sort of how boys and girls get together, is someone's got to ask the other one out to begin with, and if they say
So that Jordan
no,
and
I'm not
Irene are the
interested,
2014
and then chastise the
versions
entire
of
opposite sex for
The Odd
getting it
Couple.
wrong,
Yeah.
then,
Just grow a new
you know,
bone
this is just
structure in your face, bro. Which proves that having a high IQ doesn't mean you make... Yeah.
It's an impossibly entitled position for someone to be in, you know, that, no, I only want people to hit on me.
No, Lord Ass, it's my bad personality that makes me threatening to women. And I can't change it for some reason, so I just have to avoid them.
Who I like. Yeah, it's an unrealistic expectation. And so she basically transformed this whole thing into how...
We need common sense black man to save us all.
The atheist community was, when in reality no one even knew if it was an atheist who actually asked her out in the first place. And even if he had, so what? I mean, a girl gets hit on at 4 o'clock in...
This is the thing that splintered the atheist community, by the way. This is what happened to the atheist community. And then we had Jack Thompson was right, Neil deGrasse ass Tyson. Yeah, this is what splintered it. Now we have Atheist Plus, common sense black laws.
And that's the graphic example that shows how the atheist community is sexist.
But as someone who did grow up on the wrong side of the track,
Jim Goad.
tremendous violence, very young, it's hard to
Atheism
empathize
Plus,
with
your
someone
new
who's
realism.
traumatized
Atheist is
by a
unstoppable,
word.
is dangerously
By
based.
being asked to come up for coffee. I was in fucking prison. I've survived brain surgery and extreme violence and public crucifixion. Fuck you all. You have no idea what it's like. So that's why it's hard to empathize.
Yeah, exactly.
And I also know, I've said this many times, I would know not to fly to Zimbabwe and see some guy with his limbs falling off and say, you know, my boss was really a jerk off.
Give me tons of red 40 hot cheesy tackies,
Rebecca
bro.
Watson
Ooh.
had taken an awkward
Don't mention
misunderstanding
Jews. He
and claimed
bitches
that it
and
was
has no
indicative
problems
of the
calling
sexual misconduct of an
the
entire
neighbor
group
shout.
of people. She was mocked on the internet as a result. Then there was Melody Hensley, who claimed that nasty comments on Twitter.
This woman is a bitch, and she tried to get a fucking Marine, a fucking United States Marine, fired from his job because he called her smelly. She tried to get this man fired for calling her smelly. Smelly, you bitch!
Twitter had given her post-traumatic stress
It looks
disorder.
evil.
She then stated that she would lodge complaints with the commanding officers of any soldier who challenged
Problem
that
glasses.
assertion.
That's just
Nick Roblek, game developer, Sombrero.
You should never leave your house or talk to anyone if you are that unable to handle how people act online or elsewhere. If you're taking threats online that seriously that you think you're getting PTSD, that you can compare your experience of that to someone who actually has PTSD. I'm probably one of the few.
This fucking sound mixing sucks!
My father did, both my grandparents.
This is ass!
I think all of my
I can barely hear the music over the guy, and I can barely hear the guy over the music. This sucks.
into the military. He was over in Afghanistan, and I know a real.
What? Speak up!
I know how many. I know how many drugs they had him on when he came back.
There's a pizza in the background. They ordered a pizza. to have with him. Be like, hey, you want to be in our video? We got our pizza for you. Okay.
Or there was Chanty Binks, who took part in a mob disruption of a men's conference and
Shittiest audio known to man. This is
acted
ass.
insulted when people didn't want.
What were they thinking? What were they thinking? Were they smoking crack out of their ass?
To hear what she had to say.
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna say it.
If you shut the fuck up
I'd rather stick my dick in a crocodile's mouth than her.
and let me read my list, there's the fucking proof.
And so I obviously can't like.
So, number one, shut the fuck up for a second.
Wow, it's a nice way to fucking get your point across, bitch. AVGN moment. Patriarchy fuckface. This is woman Lamal. That's a nice way to get your fucking point across, sweetheart. Just fucking be the biggest bitch in the world.
Feminists do not want you to lose custody of your children. The assumption that women are naturally better caregivers is part of patriarchy. We're working on it, and you guys are trying to dismantle it. But if you'd fucking listen, can you shut the fuck up for a second, too?
That's a very nice personality, sweetheart. Oh, man. How are you in the dating scene, bitch? Big Red.
Now, if you would shut the fuck up for the 50th
Oh, boy.
It's billionth time. Bullshit, you hate sexism, but you're an MRA. Okay, no, point taken. We win.
Obviously haven't read our literature.
Oh, okay.
Now, who would want a charming lady like her?
Somebody doesn't want to hear what we're actually here
How many cats does she have?
for, so you just want to not actually or just actually shut the fuck up. I'm reading, fuckface.
You know, she'd not be like a bad person if she wasn't such a complete bitch. Just like tone it down like a few degrees. Stop being a bitch. Learn to listen.
I'm trying to fucking, I'm letting everybody else hear it, okay? It's not just for you, Mr. Entitled.
It's not just for you, Mr. Entitled. Oh, that's fucking funny.
You're noticing a theme, patriarchy.
Yeah, you keep getting.
Chloe, stop being a bitch. Yeah, she's like a fucking Life is Strange character in real life.
In 2013, self-proclaimed tech evangelist Adria Richards was attending PyCon, a convention built around...
She has nudes. I'd rather be with Larkin Love. At least Larkin Love is a good-looking woman. Anyway! Yeah, at least Larkin Love is a good-looking woman. Fuck, you could pay Larkin Love to just recreate that woman you saw in the video. You could have Larkin Love be Big Red. Medicare... Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He made that when he was Internet Aristocrat.
On the Python programming language.
Oh,
While
I was holding in a burp.
presentation,
The most Jewish-looking black woman I've ever seen. Yes!
she overheard two men
That's like a, what was it? Fucking, yeah.
telling off.
No, this is personal. I am a Python, wow.
Richards decided that rather than ask the men to stop, she would snap their picture and post it to her Twitter, which resulted in one of the men, a father of three, losing his job. Richards was fired as well, but lionized as a hero in the media by writers such as Deanna Zant, a friend of Richards.
As soon as
There's,
somebody who's born a white male says something out loud,
Mercedes Carrera. The dude on the right looks like Riker from TNG. Mercedes Carrera is she's a child molester. She got arrested for having child pornography and guns and drugs at her house. Like, she's like a fucked up individual. Would I? Yes. This still looks like a porn fetish video. Masked Man makes a Sega Saturn emulator with Python if you can. Things need to happen to these creatures that ruin people's lives. Yes. Possible to not make a dong joke.
all the other women jump on that and say, absolutely, yes, he's a misogynist, and that's why he's...
Convicted child molester. That's fucked up. Give her a fucking 3 months with me. give Mercedes Carrera 3 months with me. I'll deal her straight. Not possible, my man. At best,
Saying that, I've said from the beginning, a lot of these women who claim that misogyny is active in STEM environments don't realize that I worked in STEM.
Yeah.
There were times that I failed on my projects. When I
these things are made in C++.
failed, it was the
Joey would fuck a diddler.
result of my failure.
I didn't say I'd fuck her. I'd say I'd punch her in the face.
It was the result of
I didn't say I'd fuck Mercedes Carrera, but I would punch her in the face. And in the titty. And in the pussy.
my ineptitude. Had nothing to do with being female.
Yes, yes,
Now,
you lie
these
about
guys
me.
Misogyny everywhere. When they fail, they say, "Oh, it's misogyny that led me to failure." Well, no, it's you were being. I mean, I've been a shit engineer. I've been a good engineer too, depending on what project I was on.
You're also a diddler. You're a kid diddler. You're a fucking molester.
Yeah.
It's huge.
These people are unable to divorce their actions from who they are. They say,
Yeah.
"Well, when people hate me, they're misogynistic." No, people hate you because you're being a bitch.
If you were asked to weigh in to Anita, would you undertext, say, professional Happy Meal reviewer? I'd fucking say, if I was supposed to do that for Anita, I'd say that. I'd say professional Happy Meal. Would you do a raging? Yes, I would. A raging demon on Mercedes Carrera. Boom, 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 boom. KO!
Yeah.
Big fucking difference.
Most ominous of all, however, was Stephanie Guthrie.
Mercedes claimed to be a political prisoner in all jail interviews. That was enough to convince me she was guilty.
Last summer, misogynists were engaged in a virulent hate campaign against Antia Sarkeesian.
What is up with Canadians? Like, what the fuck is up with Canadians? I know the biggest feminist and the biggest MRA, like, MGTOW people come from fucking Canada. What the fuck is up with Canada? Is it just, like, some, like, feminist shithole? Or, like, what the fuck?
They besieged her YouTube and Kickstarter pages with misogynist and anti-Semitic comments. They vandalized her Wikipedia page.
Googling this Mercedes Carrera and I only get a porn star. Yeah, that's her. Mercedes Carrera is a porn star. She is also a child molester and a Gamergate supporter, so...
They drew and photoshopped her into some truly disgusting, violent...
There are two kinds of Canadians, urban libtards and role-based. Alright, it's a faggy place where you can't misgender freaks. I'd rather be with Ryan Kelly than Mercedes Carrera. Oh, alright, that makes sense. The urban libtards are super loud and the active on the... So you either have, like, people like this, or, like, people like Big Red, or you have people like Lauren Chen or PPP. All right.
Pornographic scenes. And worst of all, one man in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, built a video game inviting players to click on a close-up photo of Anita's face and watch bruises and contusions appear. I mean, what is it about the internet that encouraged this guy to publish this game and to put that out there? I'm also talking about a lack of social consequences, like maybe facing a torrent of criticism for your
Canada's more cucked than America. Hey, Torsh.
garbage behavior.
I remember this
In the case
shit.
of the beat-up Antia Sarkeesian game, it was one thing I couldn't allow to stand. I confronted him with this.
I ruined this man's game. PPP accounts for 1% of Alberta's food import. She wearing a poncho? I ruined this man's life just because he made a video game about punching a woman in the face. I feel good about myself. I could have stopped the fucking third worlders that come into my country and rape our women or actual, like, misogynistic abuse. But no, I stopped this guy because he made a video game about punching a guy in the face. I'm a good person.
Personally drew a parallel between his online and offline selves by asking if
Also, people like this is why you never, 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 never link your real self to your internet self. Don't do it. Retarded animals, letting them off the proverbial leash was, yeah. I want Joey to come to her TED Talk and scream, "Girl, look at those little kissable lips." Yeah, never, ever, ever link your real life to your internet life, especially if you want to do like edgy shit like this. Don't do it. These people will find a way to link your real life to your internet and fuck you over. And they will do it with a smile on their face. They don't care. They don't care. They want you gone.
IRL or
Jose Luis Chodon? Steph here fucking tried to destroy the life of Gregory Allen Elliott for internet harass. Oh yeah, fuck this bitch.
the internet as much.
That guy ran a fucking bar or something. It was like a coffee shop, and his son made like an offensive joke, and they tried to ruin his life over his son's joke. These people are fucking savage. They don't fucking care. They just see blood in the water and they want you dead.
As I do. In another tweet, I suggested employers might just find his game objectionable and notified the Twitter account of his local newspaper.
This woman needs corrective rape. They sued him for a fake Twitter account. This is why, yes, never apologize. And never let these people know who you are in real life. Because if they know who you are, and if they can trace you to your real life self, to what you say online, they will fuck you in the ass every time. Never apologize. And never fucking let them know who you are. If you say a bad thing online, if you say an offensive thing, if you say anything that triggers these fucking people, they will fucking go after you like sharks in the water. Don't let them. Tries to darken my doorstep. Yeah. All these people clapping, getting someone fired over a game. Yes!
The conversation caught fire, and within an hour, hundreds of Twitter users were participating in some capacity.
She looks like a slam pig. I'll say that, and I'll say that because I know I can. She looks like a slam pig.
When I documented the confrontation and Bendelin's response the next morning...
Also, she looks like, Zoe Deschanel playing a chubby girl.
The post spread like wildfire, drawing thousands more into the discussion.
Too tall to be a slam pig, plus boobas and... Yeah, true. She looks like a chubby Zoe Deschanel. Bring back duels. Fuck yeah.
On a massive
She's no Dylan Ryder.
scale, people were demonstrating where they stood on the matter. And in doing so, they were drawing new lines in the sand of our social interaction.
A fellow alumnus of York University, Anita's alma mater, Guthrie was a similarly minded feminist political activist. When Bendelin Spur published his beat-up Anita Sarkeesian game, Guthrie responded with a cyber mob of her own. But Guthrie's orchestrated attack on Spur wasn't the most heinous of her actions.
I don't fuck around at confrontation. Same.
She reached a new level of infamy when she brought inexplicable charges of online harassment against Gregory Allen Elliott, initially a colleague of Guthrie.
Oh shit, this guy. Yeah, you were just talking about this guy. Now watch the Sargon Effect.
She and Allen had a falling out over her plan to cybermob Bendelin Spur. A graphic artist and father of four, Elliott lost his job following Guthrie's charges. But most perplexing of all was that Elliott had never threatened or propositioned Guthrie. Instead, she felt harassed that he had written about her.
Yeah, I can see why fucking Canada births out guys like Elliot Rodger and fucking like all these other crazy motherfuckers. Is because you have to deal with people like this.
Tim Meehan is a legal researcher and former member of Guthrie's inner circle. Meehan recalled Guthrie as a cold and calculating political opportunist, far from the doe-eyed innocent of Guthrie's public persona. In the interest of full disclosure, Tim Meehan was a donor to the funding of this documentary.
I first met...
What, Elliot Rodger? I think he was Canadian, yeah.
Steph in May of 2012. Okay. You know, I
think he was Canadian and moved to America.
I do have a bit of a social conscience, so I thought, hey, you know...
Canadian, eh? I'm from Canada and they think I'm slow, eh?
Bunch of local women to try to promote women.
I start fires. I fell off the jungle gym and when I woke up I was here.
She seemed to be a leader. She seemed to step up and start conversations.
Fucking hoser, eh?
Organize.
No, I don't think so.
amazing. And
Dude sounds like
I thought, okay,
Linkara.
this
Wow.
is a smart woman. She's
He sounds like
got some
Linkara.
she's got a good head on her shoulders. She's
Oh, he was American? All right, thank you. He knows who else is Canuck? Trevor in GTA 5. He does look like Trevor. Elliot was British. Oh my god. I know Elliot was like British and Jewish and Asian.
She knows people. She's very well connected with the Toronto media.
Tim told us about his personal falling out with Guthrie, which set the tone for what lay ahead.
I can tell you, I was watching the
Explains
closing
everything.
ceremonies of the
Checked his Wikipedia page and said St. Elliot was one of his official nicknames.
London
Wow.
Olympics. And I had my BlackBerry, and one of her friends, a woman named Rachel McKenzie, Rachel Mack, had posted something. I can't even remember if it was regarding Greg Elliott or something else, but I just said to her, it's like, you're kind of feeding the troll here. Maybe you shouldn't feed the troll. Ignore these guys. They're just out to get a rise from you. Mm-hmm. And then Rachel got all upset at me. She's like, you're silencing me. You're doing this. And it's like, no, I don't intend that at all. And then Stephanie sent me a tweet.
You're right, he was Bong. Elliot's dad helped get Monkey Jones get banned. Yes, he did.
Stop
Elliot Rogers' dad and the FBI.
mansplaining, a term that I think is one of the most sexist
Guy looks like a math teacher.
terms ever. I remember I was trying to be reasonable with Steph, and I do remember at one point she just started typing in all caps, "Please respect my need to end this conversation," and just rage quit and left. And then what I tried to do at this point, I thought, okay, I went over to my Facebook, because she was friends with me on Facebook, and I thought, okay, I'll send you I'll talk to her in private.
This
She had
guy
already
can only be
befriended me.
calculated in triple integrals. He was even obsessed about being a British aristocracy or some... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Within seconds. So at that point, I was like, oh, are they serious about having a discussion, or am I now not doctrinally pure enough to be friends with them? And it turned out to be the latter. Of course, they took the whole opposite. Oh, I'm condescending, and I'm telling them what to do. Listen, I was just using the fact that I've been online longer than some of them
be
been
crazy.
alive.
Bishes.
I've seen this before, and I know what trolls look like. I was just saying, listen, don't get worked up about this. Just ignore it. So that didn't work, obviously. My former friend Emily, in fact, got
Gregory
together
Allen
with,
Elliott's lawsuit
Coach
was the
Shaky
first
James
instance of
Edgar,
Canadians
brought
getting
me to a park and
prosecuted
tried to
of
say,
internet
you've got a
bullshit.
problem
Wow.
and this and that. You've got mental issues. You've got anger issues. They brought me down to Cam H, saying that, obviously I have mental issues. So I went in there. I talked to somebody, and they were like, well, the first guy I talked to said, here's a prescription. Then I went back. Second guy I talked to said, so wait a minute. You're telling me that they said that you have mental issues because you got angry because you were insulted? I said, pretty much. He said, I think they're manipulating you, and I think you need some better friends.
Wow.
And it was like, oh, okay, so I'm not crazy.
This guy could pull off Peter Griffin. Yeah. Jeez. This guy got Justin Castro sicking the Mounties on the truckers and using tweets as evidence of terrorism or some shit. Davis Serini joined a cult. Wow. But yeah, he look like Peter Griffin. Hey, Lois, remember that time those Canadian feminists tried to get me canceled?
Pushed into therapy, that was maybe something intentionally to
Ow,
discredit you.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely, and that's why that's what contributed to the end of my friendship with Emily Mooney.
Okay.
Which I used to look after their house. We first met on a Usenet group back in 1996 called alt.society.generation X, and they were local. Her and her boyfriend at the time, her now husband, and they were very close. I was very close to them. Their daughter. It was one of my best friendships, and all of a sudden it sort of blew up because of these people.
Guthrie's tightly knit group of activists were given to playing the same DeSantis harassment card that Anita Sarkeesian favored. Tim told us about his association with Guthrie during the time she began planning to make an example of Gregory Allen Elliott.
And this is the funny part. Stephanie had been expressing concern about, because there was Greg Elliott, there's another guy named Satva, there was another guy, Drunk
Satva?
Superman, there was a couple of Twitter guys in the Toronto scene who supported Rob Ford ostensibly. I don't know if they could have been just trolling to get a rise out of people.
Yeah.
But, she was, these people, they're saying these. I said, look, just document everything. I said, document. I said, if he is the bad person, you say, eventually he'll slip up and give a violent threat. Then he can go to the police. Oh, look, uttering death threats. Ding, there you go.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what I thought. I thought, okay, maybe he'll go a little too far. But I said to him, I said, really? I said, just ignore him.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I thought she had blocked him. But again, she went searching for stuff and it would pop up. This is, I think, what the trial is about. Even though she had blocked him.
Anyone knows if freedom of speech? No, it's not. In fact, Canada is actually going to make it a law to criticize transgender people or criticize transgender surgery. They're going to make it a law that you can't criticize these people. So, yeah, there is no First Amendment in Canada.
She would go searching.
That's why Canada sucks.
Hashtag, and his tweets would pop up. Well, I'm sorry. I mean, you went looking for it. You saw it. Greg Elliott was a prolific Twitterer on the TO Poly
1984, yeah.
Toronto politics. Mostly he was a Rob Ford supporter. Generally, I guess you would put him in the pigeonhole.
Supreme Court of Kazakhstan had ruled that the truth is not a defense for hate speech. Wow. It's just virtue signaling. They don't have the votes to pass that. But cat's out of the bag. Wow.
He was more of a... harmless comes to mind when I think of him. He does not seem to be somebody who is would be stalking. Although he could be a little bit lippy on Twitter, as I can be as anyone.
Kazakhstan's not even once.
And
yeah, right?
I did a few times. I'd heard complaints from people saying, "Oh, well, he's sending me these really, inappropriate tweets and stuff." But no one really seemed to come out with the evidence of it. There would always be rumors.
Read American McGee's retirement of the video. Yeah, American McGee quit the video industry? Really? Fuck, that sucks. I really loved American McGee's Alice and American McGee's the second Alice game. Alice, you guy, for not making you a Canuck boy.
Oh, well, he asked me out for coffee. I stopped associating with the Guthrie Scooby crowd in August of 2012. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I think in November, he got arrested.
Okay.
He tried to get a few projects going. He wanted the license
right out of the starting gate,
back from EA.
Tweeting, anybody who thinks that I did this to make a point, no, I'm really scared. And then 2 weeks later, at his second court appearance, Paisley Ray, who works for the Toronto Police,
oh damn, that sucks,
and her other friend Heather Riley made a complaint, and then the charges were added to him. I wrote a letter to the Law Society about
man had a hard life. Yes, he did.
The fact that the prosecutor is putting this forward, I don't think there's any reasonable chance of conviction, and I also don't think that this case was
insane. Sister disappeared. Yeah, screwed. Yeah, that sucks.
She's a Crown attorney, so
American McGee deserves better.
So then I took that response, wrote my letter to Mr. Justice Kazan. And I didn't even think, I remember thinking, all I have is hearsay evidence. I mean, I've seen this. I can't really say anything to the police. I can't really say anything.
At least he traveled the world on the boat,
yes. As a law student, I have a duty to be a friend of the court, to inform them at least of this. Yeah. So that's why I wrote
it is a shame.
I was surprised as anybody when I picked up the newspaper a few weeks later, saying that the trial was stopped. because they took it seriously.
Good.
I was actually in shock. I thought, oh, they'll figure this some crank's writing and they'll just put it in the garbage. But maybe they looked it up and they saw, oh, okay, he's a law student. Oh, maybe he's actually serious about this, which I was.
Yeah.
So, and the funny part was that aside from a visit I got from
I'd rather have American McGee yes, I would too.
Back in New Brunswick,
I'd rather have American McGee than Tim Schafer. Tim Schafer sucks.
Detective on the Toronto police who worked in the same division where these charges were brought up. I have had zero contact. I've had zero letters, nothing in writing whatsoever. No, and I expected them to contact me in order to, at the very least, give a statement. Maybe
she was having a turnover, having Mr. Tim Schafer.
Send it off. Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. There was two things. There was a party in July at the Emmett Ray, which is a bar on College Street West in Toronto, Hipster Central.
Yeah.
That's where 90% of these people, they live within a 2-block radius. It's kind of like Williamsburg over in Brooklyn. It's the trendy area.
I've been in Williamsburg before. Yeah, fuck that place. Industry for straight. Yes, make the game industry for straight males again.
Now in Toronto, or it was when I lived there. And
fun fact, the hipster culture was created by, what was his name? God damn it. I can't remember his name. Hold on, let me look it up. Not Allen Ginsberg. Gavin McInnes. Gavin McInnes actually created the hipster scene back in the day. Make video games fun again. Yes, Gavin. Gavin McInnes was the guy that created the hipster scene back in like the 2010s.
Paisley Ray was there.
Yes,
Steph
for real. There's an article written about it where he was like the big founder of the hipster movement.
She was the queen, the life of the party, the reason they were having the party, because she was so brave and fighting off the misogyny when she pointed out Bendelin's beat-up game. So they had this get-together. So, Heather
was this
Riley
before or
was there,
after he
a lot of other
stuck
people.
things up? This is before he stuck something up his butt. I think you can still find hipsters in Florida. Yeah, you could probably find them in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, too. They were there when I was there.
This other one, Astrid Idlewild, A. Casaglia, I think is her Twitter name. B. Hume, Guitar Drone.
Hipsters
David
before it was
Demchuk
cool.
from the CBC, who he's a very angry person. So all these people are there, and they were just sitting around, and I made a joke. I said, everyone's here except Greg Elliott, and I brought the house down. They were just laughing. They didn't see this as
mocking the man bun before it was mainstream.
Oh, he's just some annoying guy on the internet. And then I remember Steph was like, oh, we're going to take care of him, And I thought, I didn't really think anything of it. Until the day that Emily Mooney and James...
Before we get started, we have to zero in on who's talking about. This article is not for FAGs telling FAGs how to have anal sex. Oh, it's top messages, that's why. Chat filter, all messages. Telling Puerto Ricans how to have babies. Ex-wife cousin was the biggest hipster ever met. Probably not a coincidence he went deeper than the closet than empty. Wow.
Pulled me aside in the park to say, you've got a problem. You need to get psychiatric counseling, etc., blah, 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 blah. And then James Edgar mentioned me. Oh, by the way, yes, we're working in the background to nail this Elliott. We have friends in the Crown Attorney's office. Demchuk is working his stuff. There was a meeting that Greg Elliott's lawyer brought up. I was not at that meeting, but he told me about this meeting where they said, we're basically going to sit down to plot to see how we can get this guy. And, you know, and I thought, well,
Dropkick hipsters.
Everybody's connected. But
Forced
I never really thought
vasectomy
anything of it
hipsters.
until
Cut the man buns of
he's
hipsters.
charged
Make
with
hipsters eat the
criminal
buds.
harassment, you know, breach of an undertaking. Because,
Roundhouse kick hipsters in the pavement.
well, I had launched on people on Twitter.
Holy
and,
cow, this man is still talking.
Emily
yeah.
Rooney wanted to meet me after her work.
We got a
worked at
few
the
more
English
minutes.
School on Eglinton Avenue West, so she said,
Mandatory
let's go,
abortions for
I haven't
hipsters.
seen you in a while. Let's go out and have a coffee or whatever. So I show up, and all of a sudden, James Edgar's there. Who
Total hipster death.
I was not told.
Behead hipsters.
So I
Roundhouse
was a little
kick
put off
hipsters
by
into the
that to
pavement.
begin with.
Nuke hipsters. Drop
And
kick
then he
hipsters.
started saying this. Oh, well, you don't understand.
Honestly, that just sounds like something Max would say from Two Broke Girls. Roundhouse kick hipsters into the pavement, kick hipsters into the wall, blow up hipsters, nuke hipsters, shoot hipsters in the chest.
The whole Sarkeesian thing, like, oh, if you don't think you're affected, that means you're probably really affected. This whole
Men at this age
pseudo-garbage,
can really walk
you
the
know,
walk, the talk. Reminds me of that
started
American
this,
Dad episode where
he was
pistachio
sort of the
gelato
ringleader
was
more
code
than
for a
Emily. I
hand
think
job.
Emily was sort of
Judo
like
throw
doing this.
hipsters into a wood
And he brought up
gypter.
the third person.
And he
About
brought
that,
up the fact that, yes, we...
All right, I'm done with this. Let's do part 3. Yeah, that was fucking 48 minutes. I'm gonna go take a piss. This movie is not really good. Let me take a piss. Let me get some videos playing. Drop kick a hipster off a skyscraper. Empty was good at conversation while grandmother thunder cook. What are we gonna play? We'll play You know what I know we'll play? Chat overlay back. Yeah. I missed the chat overlay. PS4 for PS5 because chat is so buggy. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of what was it, Adventure Time, but that is a really good song, and that's a really good game. Gauge stations. That is a chiptune song from the video game. What was it? Adventure Time. Hey Ice King, why'd you steal our garbage? It's basically Zelda 2, made for the 3DS and 2 DS. It's lesbian cuckolding time. It's a good game. Hashtag Gamergate.
On August 16, 2014, a jilted young man named Iran Joni published a scandalous blog about his former girlfriend, game developer and social justice advocate
We're all
Zoe
goated.
Quinn. In the course of Iran's lengthy commentary, it was revealed that during what he believed was a monogamous relationship, Quinn had actually cheated on him with 5 different men, including her boss, Joshua Boggs, as well as prominent games journalist Nathan Grayson and developer Robin Arnott. The internet exploded with outrage, as it always
Aaron
does.
Girani. Hack Tim Hewlett, who loves Silent Hill more than you do, was the dev for the game. Wow, Five Guys. Powder Wig Man. Last good cartoons that came out before Steven Universe took over the nation. Oh.
Figures are caught
Zoe
in sex
Snooch.
scandals. But in this case, many gamers saw it as the final hypocritical straw in
The
what had been a
communal hole.
long series of slights from the obnoxious, self-aggrandizing gaming
Communal
press.
hole.
The controversy had a number of
Depression
names, from
Quest.
the burgers and fries scandal
Why does this
to the
video
conspiracy.
exist?
But it was an offhanded tweet from actor Adam Baldwin that once and for all gave it the name.
Five Guys burgers. Five Guys is good shit. That's good burgers.
Zoe Quinn's associates in the social justice gaming press were quick to come to her defense, calling Gamergate an act of slut-shaming and misogynistic cyberbullying. But ultimately, Zoe Quinn...
I've never played Depression Quest ever since it was released on repeat. I can't get around this guy. Sounds like George what he does. Featuring Kaho Shibuya. That'd be nice.
Was an afterthought compared to Nathan Grayson and his ever-mounting list of undisclosed ethical lapses that included financial support and positive press coverage of close friends and personal associates, Zoe Quinn outstanding among them. Like Anita before her, Zoe claimed to be the subject of an ongoing cyber mob of sexist
You
harassment.
support Gamergate.
And like
You
Anita
are
Sarkeesian,
stupid.
The claims were outlandish and difficult to verify.
I know that's
She claimed
insulting,
to have
but
been
it's true.
doxed, which is the practice of revealing a victim's personal information to the internet at large. Speaking about her ordeal to Congress, Quinn claimed that Gamergate supporters...
Do you think Zoe Quinn could suck a golf ball out of a garden hose? I know she can. I'm pretty sure she can.
...had sent a private investigator to her house, but in reality, the investigator had been sent on behalf of attorney Mike Cernovich,
thank you for subscribing to me, Masked Man. Thank you.
who was attempting to locate Zoe and have her served with process papers after she...
Depression Densetsu. This was a movie that took months to make by a man named Jordan Owen.
She had
and
doxed
Davis
him.
Serini.
Other claims abounded.
I don't care about Zoe Quinn. I mean, she's an indie developer of a game. She's not in my ecosystem, so to speak. But one day I get up, and it turns out that she had put together a bunch of images that gave the impression that some cartoon.
All right, we got a comic book here. How about you rate my performance instead? Depression Quest is such a non-video game, I can't even rate it on my site. Youch! F, this game bites.
Cartoonist that made a disgusting cartoon
The
about
Gamer
her,
Girl
and she
won.
placed an image of me.
Blackface Kermit and Jesse, the Body Ventura, were the best. Yes, they were. Pay up, piggy. Blackface Kermit did some good videos.
Of
shucks for favors.
He telling the artist, we're hiring. The United States, we're hiring.
Yeah.
And the implication was that he wrote this, he made this really ugly cartoon. And
I do too. His streams are fucking great. Blackface Kermit made some really comfy streams.
Hey, come to Stardock, we're hiring, we want your kind here. Which is not the case, because in reality, the cartoon had been apparently made in August.
Yeah.
He had deleted it, so no one had seen it. I mean, Zoe Quinn is the one who actually publicized the cartoon.
Yeah.
Right? I had never seen it before. I don't think hardly anyone had seen it. And then Jim Sterling. Yeah, he retweeted.
I miss Spoonie. So do I. Quinspiracy theory. Quinspiracy theory.
Did it, and a few other people retweeted it, and I was like, oh my! All these people are like, oh, I'm never buying anything from Star. Like, oh. So I responded, like, you're full of crap. You're lying. Quit lying about us.
Yeah.
This has nothing to
Jim Sterling is a fat gay tranny.
do with anything. My tweet to him was from November.
Yeah.
And he asked for a job. Well, I asked for a lot of jobs. And then I was able to pull out the same...
Spoonie spooning the mayonnaise too much now. He's a gunt now. Shucks for favors.
I deleted it. The tweet of her when she asked me for a job.
Yeah.
It's like, so am I being held... Should I be held liable for all your activities too, because I told you the same thing as I told him.
Yeah.
But a
Spooning,
major
I remember
window into-
spooning with Spooning. Oh, I'm gonna skip this just because I don't want fucking half-naked Spooning on my shit. But I do remember spooning with Spooning.
I was living in New Hampshire at the time and working for a number of alt porn websites. They did softcore porn. Most people are familiar with Suicide Girls. It was that
She's a Suicide Girl. I remember Suicide Girls.
sort of content, though I never worked for
Censor that bitch. Tatas. Booba!
Suicide Girls. Two of the websites I worked for had contracted Zoe, or who I knew as Locke, as a model. And we expressed a desire to work with each other to the company and set up a date to shoot. I thought she was a beautiful model and I was really looking forward to it. So I drove from New Hampshire to Albany, New York. We had planned to do 3 photo shoots. She had mentioned having access to a junkyard, which sounded fun to do a punky thing in. Before we even
Joy, we must save trans kids.
shot, she told me about the guy she killed.
Tiggle bitties. Also, the fucking what? Working in the video game industry and using Nintendo shit for your porn site. Yeah.
Which was pretty interesting. The fact that she had either been fired from or quit her job 2 days before that, and that was causing her stress in her life, came up because as she was taking the trash out that night, 3 men who were her co-workers tried to arrange some sort of sex exchange.
What the
She
fuck?
had said that she had been a stripper or working at a strip club before that, and a guy had licked her nipple, and she had
Licked the
broken
nipple.
his eye socket with a glass ashtray, I think was the story.
Oh yeah, Allison Rapp. Yeah, she worked for Nintendo for Treehouse, and then got fired because she used the same social media account that she used for her Nintendo that she used for fucking being a prostitute, and she got fired, and people tried to blame Gamergate. It's not Gamergate's fault. Allison Rapp got fired because she was the dumb whore. She was a stupid whore.
So, yeah, she included in these stories the fact that a man had abducted her in his van.
Also a diddler defender, legalized child. Yeah. These same people censor video games because it seems creepy, but then they support the same creepy shit in real life. It's weird.
The way that people do. And had a knife to her throat, which she somehow got away from him.
Alright, I'm skipping this. I don't care. I don't care what you say, you slut. Yeah, I'm skipping some of this.
Friends and had made a huge mess.
When news of Zoe's past and the
Well, we're not showing that. We're not
Floating
showing that.
around that the
Few years she would have been welcome to Nintendo of America's Pride Parade shit. Mutant Fap. Oh no, I bleach.
nude images of her were fabricated and meant to
Stop.
shame her. And she seems to have taken up this mantra, like, shame on these people for sharing these images around. And that does strike me as just complete bullshit. Because she was proud of these at one point. This was her career.
I don't know if Nintendo has any gay propaganda. I don't know either.
At one point, she had friendships with models who have the same sorts of images out there. There are websites still live and active right now where she's listed as a contributing model. So it seems really
Not counting
strange to
Gay
me that she
Bowser.
would hide
So long,
behind
Gay
the
Bowser.
idea that these are something she should feel ashamed of, and that people are using them to victimize her.
They're
when
localizers,
she really
Bowser cock.
participated, and gave them out to the internet. For this purpose. That was what she wanted to be doing. So that one I will
See the latest Fire Emblem game in the
say-
last entry. I did not play. I'm gonna skip this just because I'm fucking
of you.
late.
The advocates for social justice that rallied to the defense of Quinn and Sarkeesian came to be known as social justice warriors. But what does that expression mean?
It's someone who believes in equality, but is so insecure in their beliefs.
Basically, a cultural Marxist that doesn't practice what they preach, but they push it on everyone else. The pause is there, just look at Nintendo removing a fan translation patch. Oh yeah, that sucks.
That they seek to destroy anyone who questions that belief. These people won't seem to rest until every fire is stamped out, and everyone who thinks differently is either dead or thinking like they are.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, to me, the word warriors has a special resonance because I first heard the term cell warrior. And these were the guys in prison who were in protective custody because they were either notorious gang members or child molesters. And they were called that.
They got good material for this documentary, but God, get better editors.
Because they were in the tier below you and they were, PC, protective custody. They talk shit all day and night because you couldn't get to them.
All right, that's enough of this. We know what PC...
Mostly by emotion.
Yeah, I am skipping a lot of this. This is not a good movie.
As tensions mounted, Gamergate...
Let's see, we got Jim, John, Kara, Jim Sterling, who's a tranny, Bob Chipman, Gorilla Hernandez, Nathan Grayson, I don't know who the fuck Jonathan Holmes is, Maddie Myers, Samantha Allen, Jeff Gerstmann. Jeff Gerstmann left the site to make his own site. We got
began to catalog the sites with a social justice agenda. Sites like Vox, Polygon, Ars Technica, Rock Paper Shotgun, and others. But outstanding among them were Kotaku and Jezebel, sites that fell under the banner
the Lugan Press
of Gawker Media, a
Game Journal Pros
company with a
Jeff Gutzman, yes, he is a hypocrite.
Penchant for socially conscious yellow journalism.
Gawker Media is the Southern Poverty.
Ah, fuck, I'm gonna get me another drink. I'm thirsty. Not even a liquor drink, it's a Gatorade. I feel like I got cotton mouth. Ah, fuck. Don't make noise. I'm a cotton mouth king. And you guys remember that band? The Cotton Mouth King? Oh, well, that too. Ben Kuchera got fired because he needed time to go with his kids for their coof vaccine. I love when they eat each other, yes.
You look at these Max Reeds and these Sam Biddles and Hamilton Nolans, they're the geekiest.
Yeah.
People who were probably bullied in grade school and high school. One thing I've noticed in modern leftism, supposedly it's based on humanity and compassion, or at least a long time ago it was based on live and let live and tolerance, and not dehumanizing people and not making another. All they ever talk about is you subhuman, bigoted scum piece of shit that needs to die and rot in hell forever.
Yeah.
Where have I heard that
bullshit?
Oh yeah, from Christians when I was a kid. They got enough power that they started acting like assholes. I mean, I think power, they have, history and power.
Liberals are the proto-form of commies. Yes, they are. That's why a lot of this, what this guy says is just bullshit. It's just...
By the time Gamergate was well underway, the social justice tech sites had developed a reputation for carrying out clickbait fatwas against their chosen targets. Brad Wardell recalled their severely slanted coverage of a bogus sexual harassment claim against him some years prior.
Based
Sure.
Brad.
And I don't want to be saying anything negative about. She was a high-performing employee. I had a great deal of respect for her. The issue is that she was very young. And she got some pretty bad advice, in my opinion, from people. And every time someone gets mad at their boss, you always have that friend that says, you should sue them. And sometimes people take that on. In my mind, and I've talked about this before, oftentimes the issue is that the journalist has an issue that they want to propagate, right? And what they do is they go out and they find. We saw this most recently in the Virginia Tech thing, right? She already had a story.
Evil knows no bound. Keep your rifles by your side. Yes. Fuck. Is this really it? Is this the whole movie? It's just fucking Yeah, we get it.
2014, a series of articles from prominent social justice games journalists appeared on the websites Gamasutra, Kotaku, Polygon, BuzzFeed, The Daily Beast, and The Financial Post, with VG247, Ars Technica, Vice, Games on Net, Destructoid, The Guardian, and Rock Paper Shotgun following suit in the days ahead. The articles were all interconnected in style and in subject matter, declaring that gamers did not actually care about games journalism. Really, they were just mad because the gamer identity was over.
They really are
Going
fucking
forward,
retarded.
The industry would be concerning itself with more important social concerns. Outstanding among the articles was the tersely mean-spirited Leigh Alexander's screed, "Gamers don't have to be your audience, gamers are over," which provided the article blitz with its most infamous quote.
Fellas, would you? Leigh Alexander? Fellas? I wouldn't.
Gamer isn't just a dated demographic label that most people prefer not to use. Gamers are over. That's why they're so mad. These obtuse shit-slingers, these wailing hyper-consumers, these childish
Name
internet
10
arguers,
TurboGrafx
they are
games.
not
All right,
my-
I'll fucking name 10 TurboGrafx games. Here's 10 TurboGrafx games. Blazing Lasers, Bomberman 93, Bomberman 94, god damn, Splatterhouse, Sapphire, Kung Fu. Shit, I actually gotta think. I gotta, like, my brain's swirling. Kung Fu. Fuck. JJ and Jeff. Lots of people. Yeah, true.
Audience. They don't have
Yeah,
to be
that's right.
yours. There is no side to be on. There is no debate to be had.
Another one is Salamander. Spriggan Mark II, and Double Dragon 2 for the TurboGrafx CD. Hell yeah. Bonk's a good one too. Fuck yeah.
There is what's past, and there
I had like a massive brain fart and I couldn't think of anything.
is what's now. There is the role you can choose to play in what's ahead. The articles would become known as the Gamers Are Dead articles. For the burgeoning Gamergate movement, the articles stank of collusion, a fear confirmed when the Game Journo Pros email list was leaked. The email list was a who's who of social justice gaming journalists and proof of their collusion to craft and push a common narrative. Mailing list creator Kyle Orland was found to be leading a discussion on how to handle the Zoe Quinn controversy.
Gamergate 2 will happen when Movie Bob at the forefront. Yeah, you know what? You joke about that shit, but I could actually see Gamergate 2 happening with Movie Bob.
I'm not even going
Rip
to give
Usher.
the bullshit journalism ethics excuse for these attacks the time of day. Maybe we should just use this as an excuse to give more attention to her work. I know I've
The
been
Jewish
meaning to review
chutzpah hole
Depression
goes
Quest
deeper
since
than you
its
think.
Steam
It does.
All of the major players were there, writers from Polygon, Ars Technica, Kotaku, Vice, Destructoid, and even the Associated Press, CNBC.
Remember the Journo Pros list where they coordinated articles to protect... Yes, I do.
Say Today had an interest in being in on the social justice and gaming narrative. The only question that remained was, why? With the morbidly fascinating Zoe
It's all a
Quinn
fake
and
show.
ever-insufferable
I got a new word for you to describe Abigail Shapiro, Jubes. Jubes, that's a Cartman joke from South Park. Hey, what do you call a woman with big boobs? What do you call a Jewish woman with big boobs? You call them Jubes. Yeah.
Sarkeesian hogging the spotlight. There was a bizarre publicity bidding war among
Doctor
the
called me
professional
morbidly
victim
a
feminists.
beast.
One voice would emerge above all the
Joey
rest.
Jube.
Indie game developer Brianna Wu. After publishing
John
a series
Flint.
of tweets mocking Gamergate, Wu claimed that she had been forced to leave her home due to terrorist
That is a guy. That is a man. You cannot tell me that is not a man. That is John Flint.
threats, but none of them seemed to hold any water. Most damning of all was when she claimed to have contacted the FBI as well as the prosecuting attorney of Columbus, Ohio, regarding threats made against her. In an article to the Mary Sue, she claimed to have contacted both offices and been answered with radio silence.
Radio silence, just that Gamergate
prosecuting
stuff.
attorney for Columbus, Ohio, spoke out against Wu's claims, saying that she had not been in touch.
I'm fucking skipping this. Oh, wait, Milo.
15, the first ever Gamergate meetup was held at Local 16 in Washington, D.C. Hosted by Milo Yiannopoulos of Breitbart and Christina Hoff Sommers of the American Enterprise Institute.
I like Christina Hoff Sommers, even though she's a Jew. Milo, he can go fucking take a long walk off a shore pier.
The event was briefly evacuated following bomb threats. The pendulum of internet harassment quite clearly swung in all directions. But it wasn't the first time threats of violence had been levied against the critics of social justice.
Also, the person, that's Paul Elam, a voice for men, he's a men's rights activist. The person who made a death threat to that fucking event was was it Miles Aziz? It was either Arthur Chu, it was Arthur Chu. Has a hypothetical last name, means stay the fuck out of the way. Which Asian Aryan called the bomb team? It was Arthur Chu.
Reports made. I mean, I've received a few
Was it Arthur Chu or Ian Miles Chung? It was Arthur Chu.
Over the years through emails.
Could have been Ian Miles Chung. I always get those two confused. And I'm not making a joke. I legitimately always get them too confused.
I remember the first one I got said, "You're dead, Jew," which was interesting.
That Ian still needs to pay for the pupper. Alright, that's enough of that. I don't really care what this guy says. Yeah, I'm skipping a lot of this because this movie is long, and a lot of these interviews are really boring.
One of the things about, by not pushing back, that what happens is that when people talk about hate groups, right, like the average social justice warrior...
The retard who blamed his divorce on Gamergate.
Gamergater. We're just going to just use the terms, right? They probably could hang out together at a show and get along just fine. The problem is that it's the bees, the crazies that are in the shadows, and they're a tiny. You're talking 0.1%, right? Like when
is a line grifter yellow banana? Yeah, he used to be a Nazi, then he became a social justice warrior, then he became a fucking far right grifter. Arthur Jew, and is that Arthur actually has sex with a woman. I am yellow on the outside, but I am pure Aryan on the inside.
I have some
What's with the echoing? Alright, that's enough of this. Fuck, look how long that fucking interview goes.
Is what they think to themselves.
The ethical questions raised...
Fellas, would you a Zoe Quinn?
By Zoe
I
Quinn's
wouldn't.
indiscretions
Had to specify it was a
weren't
woman.
isolated. They were indicative of an incestuous web of journalists and game developers who are working together to push a common agenda. For example, Leigh Alexander spearheaded the Gamers Are Dead article blitz and was active on game journal.
Ethical child porn by this tiny.
Pros. She failed to disclose friendships with people she'd written about, including Zoe Quinn, Robin Arnott, Christine Love, Anna Anthropy, Me Too, Kandakar, Kokora.
Ah, fuck it. Let's watch the last one. It's almost 3 hours I've been streaming, so fuck it. Yeah, a lot of this movie is just really bad interviews.
The recent shooting in the high school in Washington State, this was really disgusting. Just within a few hours after the shooting.
There was a shooting in Washington State? Wow.
Toxic masculinity.
The bodies weren't even cold yet.
Yeah.
There weren't even bodies. Well, there was one body.
Hold the fuck up. Oh, that's why. There's the part. Is this story be told about Gamergate? This movie needs a measured response. I'm not watching. This whole movie is nothing but a bunch of boring interviews.
But for all her concern about digitized sex workers, Anita and company remained silent when actual adult performers came to them for help.
Okay, so
Got a bingo?
Cytherea is a colleague of mine. She was raped in her home,
Mhm.
and there were not very many reports. So there was an industry paper website called the Real Porn.
You see those men? That's why it wasn't reported at all. Look at those men. That's why it wasn't reported. And you wonder why lynchings fucking happened. It's because certain people in society can't fucking control themselves.
WikiLeaks, which reported
Fucking Dilbert talked about this.
on it, and there were a couple of local reports. Started to get frustrated at the lack of support and the lack of publicity.
It's sad that happened. Porn star was fucking like burglarized and raped in her home. That's fucking sad. But of course the media's not going to look at it. Look at the fucking people who did it. You don't break your farm equipment for no reason, teens. No, I'm understanding that maybe our founding fathers should have fucking either not used that farm equipment, or if they did, neutered their farm equipment.
To me, that was
That's some.
it's deplorable. Why isn't this being publicized? We're concerned about virtual sex workers in Grand Theft Auto 5, but here's a sex worker who was raped. Now, it was a horrible, brutal, random attack.
It was a random attack by certain people that no one wants to talk about. Also, you're a fucking pedophile yourself, bitch.
4 or 5 thugs
Bucko Breku.
in the neighborhood, just gotten out of juvenile detention.
Shit. Bitch, shit.
Socioeconomically disadvantaged.
Socioeconomic factors making me rape a random white woman. Urban youths are without fault. Whitey did it.
Home, beat her husband,
Shit.
raped her in front of her children. I mean, it's just a
This stream is nuts. Hey, Zod.
horrific attack.
Yes.
And it could happen to anybody. She put out a video. It could happen to
Never relax. It could happen to anyone. Never relax. Quoting Mercedes Carrera.
anybody. So there was some traction in the industry. Let's fundraise. Let's support her. She can't go back to work. As a sex worker, her body's her work. She can't go back.
Shall not be infringed. They can't see why certain crimes don't get global attention. It's like their brain blocks out. Yes.
She's traumatized. She's afraid to leave her children. I mean, it's really awful. We don't get workman's comp.
Yeah.
So it was an effort to support her in her transition, so she can choose to do something else and pay for her bills until she decides what to do. So I tweeted to Antia Sarkeesian. I said, "Can you just retweet this? Can you help? Can you?" Nothing. Radio silence. Am I surprised? No. I tweeted this to other feminists. Did I get any support? No.
Let's just it's more like feminism and like nerd hobbies.
So I was furious. And I still am furious, but I was
Why the dynamic duo used that picture instead of something else?
especially furious at that moment because a month had gone by and there was no support for this woman who should be the example of everything that they've said they stand for. You have all of these things happening in society.
You know, Anita doesn't like porn stars, right? She doesn't like porn stars. She doesn't like sex workers or prostitutes. She's a swerf. She's a sex worker, exclusionary, radical feminist. She doesn't like that shit.
I would think that Cytherea's rape would garner some attention. Some.
Or a nerd hobby. The grift is so, yeah. I'm going to skip a little bit of this.
Social justice supporter Arthur Chu did speak publicly regarding the charity efforts, calling it an attempt to spite Antia Sarkeesian and Brianna Wu. He further denounced Gamergate.
You know, I don't like prostitutes, but that's got to be a next level form of being a fucking asshole. To say, hey, raising money for this woman who was raped in her home? Yeah, that's a fucking, that you're trying to one-up someone. Wow, Arthur Chu, you are a piece of fucking shit. You know that, right?
Efforts to raise money for cancer patients.
Hypocrisy, GTA 5 prostitutes have more rights than real sex workers who get blacked without consent. Arthur Chu. Also,
Chu eventually recanted his words and...
Oh, wow. I was asked by a friend to reconsider, so I had to give money because it's not a woman's fault. Ian Small Chong has me blocked on Twitter. Wow. Yeah, you have to be fucking bullied into supporting a woman who was raped in her home. Imagine being so much of a male feminist that you have to be bullied into paying a woman so she can, pay her bills after being raped in her home. At this point, I don't give a shit that she's like a fucking porn star. That's not the point. That's beside the point. The fact that she was raped in her home, and you're like, oh, that's a fucking Gamergate shit. No, you piece of shit, you fucking asshole. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Donated to the charity, but the damage was done. When the chips were down, social justice warriors cared more about women in video games than about an actual victim of home invasion and violent sexual assault.
And why was she violent? Was it those socioeconomic factors that we're not allowed to talk about? Literal subhumans, yes. Don't worry, Joe. Arthur was too obsessed with Gamergate than his wife. No, that wasn't Arthur Chu. That was Anthony Birch that his wife left him. That's funny.
So what?
Creatures that should be disposed of.
What was
yes.
the actual long-term goal of the social justice movement in gaming? For that answer, we needed to look at Anita's mysterious collaborator.
That's John McIntosh, and he looks like someone that beats women. Well, I'm not even fucking like trying to make a joke. I'm not trying to be funny. John McIntosh looks like he beats women. He looks like he's like a Patrick Bateman type. Like, I put on my makeup. They all keep leaving their SJW hubbies. I put on my makeup and I get my outfit ready. I play Huey Lewis in the news.
Jonathan McIntosh.
Right. John McIntosh, right?
Yeah.
I don't even want to think of his name because that guy is just a sociopathic lunatic. Right, yeah, no, Jonathan McIntosh seems like absolutely
Nice fucking sound mixing, you dick.
Sociopathic lunatic who is so convinced that he's right in a...
Yeah, John McIntosh. I don't like John McIntosh. He's fucking crazy. This video doesn't do it justice. He seems like a Patrick Bateman type. Like, he seems like the kind of guy that like beats women and kills women, and then he preaches about why we need to protect women. He's fucking weird. I don't like him.
Jonathan McIntosh was Anita's longtime
My name is not Josh Block.
Pop culture hacker and remix artist who, prior to Feminist Frequency, had made a name for himself remixing videos from popular culture to produce satirical results. Little is known about McIntosh, but according to his old website, he began pursuing radical politics after witnessing the Twin Towers collapse on September 11th, 2001.
Wow, me and John McIntosh have similar backstories. We both saw the Twin Towers, but where John McIntosh decided he wanted to become a pop culture hacker, I wanted to play more Donkey Kong 64.
His history from that point forward...
Look at that. See what you did, Joey? Caused by Donkey Kong. So look at that. Look at that shit. Fucking white man preaching in front of a bunch of brown people. I guarantee you, John McIntosh is one of the most racist people you will ever see. You saw the planes, but you were not near the fucking Twin Towers. I was walking through blood and bones.
To ever-increasing degrees of political activism. McIntosh came under scrutiny from Anita's critics with his posting of...
I guarantee you, motherfucker's dad has more money than, like, all of us combined. Like, he comes from fucking, like, rich blood.
Off-the-wall politically extreme statements on Twitter. For example, he refused to celebrate the death of Osama bin Laden, but cheered for the death of...
There are so many reaches in this documentary, yeah.
Hitchens. Other bizarre statements included, in gaming lingo, fun is often...
Watching this thinking you're a part of some movement, Lamau.
Code for feeling powerful, and feeling powerful is often code for doing violence to people and other living things.
When I play Pac-Man, I have fun playing Pac-Man. And I also have fun eating Ghost. Oh, they scam their followers to me. It was like a few $1,000s a month. Saw Tower 7 fall without a plane hitting it. What's the deal with that? With the Pentagon? Oh,
or
wow.
When he said, the literal text of these game trailers is, imitating the actions of the game in real life will make you a hero.
What a fucking retard.
I think there's two things that give Anita her staying power. I think that she actually...
How Ethan Ralph, the internet aristocrat... Yeah! Ethan Ralph, the internet aristocrat, and Sargon of Akkad saved Western... Yes, I saw that. That fucking cartoon aged like milk.
...is being leveraged by and is being spoken...
I don't want to say anything pervy about this woman because she's like a child molester, but fuck, her titties look nice. So we're just going to skip her. Mount
But what did
Cringemore?
John want from video games? As it turned out, John was a proponent of gamification.
Don't forget Nigel Farage. Never fails to make me laugh. Yikes.
The process by which video games are integrated into society for creating a sense of civic duty in the player.
Fake ass titties. I'd give her a
The
correction.
MacArthur Foundation, the Digital Games Research Association, and Games for Change.
Digra. That was a United States thing by the fucking Christ and Almighty. I forgot.
Emerged as organizations that sought to change.
Oh, they worked with DARPA. That's not what gamification means. That's what fucking DARPA. Digra worked with DARPA, I think. Just ask Queen. Polls. I like how Sergen ruined a whole political party. Davis Sereni is an unhinged racist. Why would anyone pay him? Digital Games Research Association. I've never been...
Change attitudes about video games from being mere entertainment to being mouthpieces for political agendas. And John had been working extensively with all three. But he wasn't alone. Leigh Alexander, Kyle Orland, the founders of Vox and Polygon, and many others connected to the Gamers Are Dead articles had all been pushing for gamification for years and saw so-called serious games as the future of Common Core education. But there was one problem. Research had found that game manufacturers were reluctant to produce gamification titles. Their market was gamers who saw games as an entertainment medium, and so...
Yeah, I want to play video games to escape reality. I don't want to... If I want to play video games to play fucking like math, I'd play fucking Math Blaster or some gay shit. That some game physics engine has founding from the Open Society. Wow. There was a fucking game for Spoken, you retards. There was a game company called Super Strings, Silver Strings or some Silver String, I think. They were a Canadian game developer that worked with Digra, the American government, and their games are fucking ass. I think one game you were like riding in a car and talking to people, and I think the other game you were like, there's some gay shit. Write their stories that
had to die.
Well, the relationship is money. It's always about money and ideology. I think money first, ideology a close second in some cases. Gamergate's another example of that. The social justice warriors have moved in and they want to alter the entire gaming community and change what it means to be a gamer. And
this guy's a men's rights activist, and I think he was one of the people, money and ideology, what a genius this guy is. This guy also was like one of the big people that started Honey Badger Radio. It was called In the Red Laser, I think it was. This was what to Dwight Pigu Rex.
They're doing this by attacking the games themselves. They're actually attacking products that are being made that are profitable because men and women want to buy them.
Money Badger, yeah. This was one of the guys that like founded Honey Badger Radio, but he didn't call it Honey Badger Radio. You can fast forward this part, yes, sir. Neither am I the means to any end others may wish to accomplish. I am not a tool of their use. I am not a servant of their needs. I am not a bandage of their wounds. I am not a sacrifice of their altars. Ayn Rand, who I think is like a communist. Libertarian.
Well, I paid my...
Oh boy, quote Ayn Rand, and someone communist.
My way through college, and I was working many jobs.
Ayn Rand is a libertarian. Oh, wow. Ayn Rand was an anti-communist. Ayn Rand ain't a communist. Worse, Ayn Rand is an objectivist. All right, so she's not a communist. I'm sorry.
To try to pay for school, and so I decided to start my own company to put together computers for other people. And
fuck shit up
doing that, I got
sometimes.
interested
Sorry.
in programming, and I was a really
Shit.
big fan.
One of those Jews who didn't get power after October Revolution Ram Ranch. All right, fuck this. Let's skip this. You got pretty Anita face.
why there has been such a passionate, vicious, and unabashedly hostile pushback against Anita Sarkeesian. You have wanted to know the source.
She gets shit wrong and people don't like it. Gamers don't like it when you get shit wrong about their hobby. Most gamers are heavily autistic. Same with like people in D&D and other shit. Heavily autistic people don't like it when you fucking get shit wrong about the things they're passionate about. So of course they're gonna attack you. That's what they did to Anita. That's what they did to Jack Thompson. That's what they did to fucking those retards in the 80s who thought D&D was satanic.
Source of our anger.
Who made Pepsi Man? That was a Japanese company, right? I played the Pepsi Man game.
Unending fountain of rage from which we draw strength. And now you will hear it. These, finally, are the words that the social justice warriors have dreaded, the words they have fought to keep from being spoken with ever-increasing degrees of maniacal terror. They have sought to rip out the tongues of dissenters and break their bodies on the rack of public shame and humiliation.
Fuck you, self-hating bitch. Gamergate nothing but ugly virgin trash.
Themselves, but the truth.
Sam Biddle, ultimately Gamergate is reaffirming what we've known to be true for decades. Nerds should be constantly shamed and degraded into submission. Bring back bullying. Wow, you're supposed to be like a progressive, Sam Biddle. You're supposed to be a progressive, but here you are posting shit that Chud would do. Just look it up who made Pepsi Man? Fine, I'll look up who made Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man! Pepsi Man is an action game developed and published by KID for the PlayStation. It was released in Japan on March 4th, so says the Biddler. On March 4th, 1999, it is based on the eponymous Japanese superhero mascot thing that a lot of people get wrong. Drink Pepsi. KID. Producer Hisayoshi Ichikawa. There's no Pepsi Man remake. That'd be fun. The designers are Nobuaki Umeda, Nozumi Takaguchi, Keisuke Ito. Programmers are Akira Miyago, Akiyasha Yamada, and artist was Kotaro Uchikasu. I don't fucking know why you wanted me to look that up, but alright. So no, a lot of people get wrong and will not correct. Capcom? Joey say what?
And because suppression...
Yeah, these people... Well, I'm going to say this, and this is going to be rough, but bullying is a part of human nature. Like, you can't get rid of bullying. It's human nature to fuck with the class retards of society, and I hate saying that. They keep citing Travis Charest as the creator of Pepsi Man. Well, clearly it's not. But
of dissent cannot.
The right answer is Takuya Onuki.
Alter the truth.
Women that support the video games and gamers are no different than... I am not saying that fucking word. Wow, lightning action. What the fuck is wrong with you?
They have remained.
It's instinctual to haze the weak until they get stronger. Yes, that's it. Mobbing. Yeah, it's basically... It's human nature to fuck with the class retard until either he improves himself, gets rid of himself, or... Yeah, that's it.
Ultimately powerless. They know it.
Hope they reopen the death camps for everyone who's a part of Gamergate and they gamify the post-final... What the fuck, Jordy Tate?
And we know it. And now you may know it as well.
You know, Gamergaters nowadays are just called incels.
All organic life possesses to...
But it always leads back to just fucking with, like, the unwanted of society. Class retard till he pulls out the gat and blats him on no mercy. Jordy Taint.
Some degree, a concept of virtue.
Many of these people were revealed to be domestic abusers, and yes, that is true.
Which is the very act by which it is able to live.
The
All
Tingo
creatures, by
Blam.
default of their biology, hold the means by which they survive.
Gamers, rise up. Rise up, chat. Rise up, gamers.
For their moral good. The basis for virtue, therefore, is the will.
Yeah, Joey, Trenchcoat Mafia, rise up. It's all a grift, has nothing to do with politics. The Trenchcoat Mafia, as we all know, is actually organized out of the Burlington Coat Factory.
To live. Humankind shares this.
It's like everything needs to be a balance with bullying. Anyone doing anything weird should be criticized for their behavior. This is fucking pretentious. Skip it. Gamers, rise up. We shall conquer this world and make gaming mandatory.
Basis, but is distinct from all other creatures in that it is aware of its ability to exist by a higher standard than that which is afforded by mere survival. Where a bird...
Oh, soy... Say... Hola, soy yo, Joko, Benya do Disney Channel? I don't know what the fuck I just said. More influential politically, at least street maxers out there on the streets. Trenchcoat gang, fedoras with blades.
By means of an instinct towards the virtue of survival, humans create dwellings of ever-increasing comfort, where the carnivore devours its food raw and the herbivore eats its fill straight from the ground. Humans create delicacies that elevate the experience from...
Preferring one with small boot. Fuck that. 1,000 neat samurai. Yeah, this is fucking gay. It's like some like pretentious bullshit.
Spreading.
I just wanted to play video games, motherfucker. Hola, soy JoJo está viendo... Oh, fuck. Hola, soy JoJo está viendo Disney Channel. I don't know what the fuck I just said.
To the unwashed
What the fuck is this pretentious
Their efforts
shit?
do not involve the...
I just want to... You know what? Fuck it. I'll say it wholeheartedly, unironically. I just wanted to play video games. I don't care about the goddamn culture war. I don't care about right versus left. I don't care about feminism and men's rights activism. Let me play my fucking video games in peace. I want my fucking big titty women in gaming. I want my Senran... Hi, I'm Joey JoJo. You are watching Disney Channel.
Creation of their own productive output.
That's it. I want to play my video games. Leave me the fuck alone.
Rather upon the product and
let me play my Doom.
The labor of actual
you can't
creative
split
persons
games from
to
culture.
build up the towering achievements that they take.
Just want to play video games.
They declare with righteous scorn that their tantrums, mired in their own inability to create
just
anything other than
But even if you leave them alone, we learn they won't leave you alone. Bake the cake, Joey. Can't even be left alone.
Paltry echo of their betters gives them an enlightened perspective, and that it is from this perspective that they intend to improve gaming. What is the improvement that the social justice...
Surrender your child relatives to diddlers.
They seek to improve enjoyment by replacing it with responsibility. The responsibility they declare all persons ought to feel for one another.
Get a room and get groomed, Joey.
They improve the triumph and passion of competition by declaring everyone to be a winner, which only serves to undercut the actual winners. They promote tolerance by demanding all live and play as they see fit. They seek at the root...
Dame ho gabi de o egos. The major minus of this documentary. What is this goober doing?
To replace pride and achievement with the embracing and championing of failure. And to prop up this sham of a morality, they erect an edifice...
You do not end your documentary with the fucking moralizing finger wagging
of smug, mean-spirited self-righteousness, and
this shit is
to applaud
fucking
only
gay.
those failures who are best able to sneer at actual accomplishment. Their impudent demands to be acclaimed.
Dajme jua video jugos. Let me play video games. You destroy your objectivity with this moralizing bullshit, with pretentious bullshit. Joey going to summon a demon if he keeps
by
going
the media
on.
will not give them the ability to create that they envy in the productive.
You just summon an Antia Sarkeesian, and she runs up on me and eats my fucking face.
Just as no amount of hatred for those with food will give you the sustenance you need to survive, no amount of recognition will give you the ability to produce. Is it any surprise that the social justice warriors colonize and take over cultures by imposing...
ancient Armenians.
Guilt on their betters, when the means of production is a factory.
Depression Quest is liquid as, though. I did try it once. I have that on my Steam. Bantha Poodoo. So melodramatic. They could have cut 2 hours if this was better editor.
Site seize control by...
What the fuck is this? Especially this part.
When the mind is the means of production, guilt is the means by which the parasite attaches itself.
I see a dick. Fuck this. This is basically communist bad with
for the sake of assimilation. Do you wish to accuse us of creating folk devils? Your philosophy...
Oh, fuck this. This is some pretentious bullshit. This is 40 fucking minutes of this ass butter. We get it. Anita sucks. Anita sucks. Communist sucks. There's some nice titties. Anita sucks. Communist sucks. And gaming is better without communism. Fuck me. I know that. I have no mouth and I must scream. That's a good game. Alright. Dude smelling his own farts. She's a grifter. The Phantom of Gaming travels around Europe. We had liberal arts degrees, skull or bulk. The Phantom of Gaming travels around Europe. Oh, this is fucking ass butter. I don't fucking care about these fucking...
Complaints which echo...
A ghost is haunting gaming, the ghost of LCD refresh rates. I have no internet and I must scream.
The anti-video game lobbyists of yesteryear. Doom was a beloved franchise, and gamers and industry folk alike were tired of hearing from the bespectacled malcontent who, by now, was obviously just showing up to find things to complain about. When Doom character artist Jason Martin responded to Anita's asinine critiques with the simple statement, haha, winning,
Pixel simulated or
social
not
justice warriors began demanding that Martin, a man with a family to support, be fired from his job over the offending tweet. Martin refused to be cowed and replied, I'm going to take a moment to explain myself here. No way, shape, or form have I attacked anyone. I simply disagreed with their comment, and this is a right I have. Never once attacked either their character or beliefs. This is beyond ridiculous, and it's doing nothing but stir up trouble for no reason. But he wasn't alone. Internet social justice warriors were quick to launch into outrage when it was announced that the new Deus Ex game would deal with the concept of mechanical apartheid.
I have that game. I have the Wii U version. It's alright. I didn't play much of it.
It was disrespectful to the actual victims of
They already had several segments and interviews with the subject.
Apartheid.
Black mechanical transformer. Yeah, this sucks. I'm just gonna skip most of this. This shit after your gay, pretentious monologue is now 3 years behind schedule. Keep in mind, this was made in like 2017, 2016. Yeah, 2016, the Tropes vs. Women in Games series is now 3 years behind schedule. None of these people involved in this participated in any real issues. Anita Sarkeesian did not respond to any request for no fucking shit. Really? You think she would respond to an interview with this fucking movie?
If you could say anything to Anita Sarkeesian, what would it be?
If you are trying to build a career off of the misery of other people...
When X in gaming is your biggest concern, you are already so far beyond privilege that it literally does not matter what you do or say. The average person won't feel it.
I really feel sorry for you.
Sorry. Alright. The gamer is the highest caste in the Kali Yuga.
Destructive, and it's disingenuous. You're presenting shitty arguments from women as a speaker for women, and that's offensive to me as somebody
Surf the Kali Yuga.
Who's trying to break into an analytic thinking field. You are being destructive to journalists and actual game developers.
We get it. Anita sucks. Oh, that's that prostitute woman I was telling you guys about.
Produced.
That woman right there. That woman is a prostitute who pretended to be Anita Sarkeesian for like a porn movie, and then like she kind of like went on to attack fucking people and gamers. She's alright looking. Tattoos on a woman is disgusting because before they rised up, they were being finger-wagged into supporting whatever socio-political issue or else.
To say to you, Anita Sarkeesian, is that I am not a prostituted woman. I am a sex worker. I have
You're a whore.
agency. I chose my job. I like my job. And I don't need you speaking for me.
Try finding a husband after this. There's hundreds of dead towns in the USA suffering because there's no jobs anymore. There's dozens of destroyed by the US's greed for resources. Nobody cares what color Mario's hair is.
So thank you.
She has
Anita,
HIV.
From what I can tell, you are basically an intolerant person.
She has I do anal tattoos. Karen looks fucking drunk.
Get a real job.
Good people living in Maryland, for God's sakes. Baby's first red pill in 2014.
Do everybody a favor and get a real job.
Man up, Anita. It's not that bad.
Anita, it would be really, really easy for me
That's hilarious coming from you, Karen. Yeah, always a bottle in
to
hand.
say something insulting because that's honestly the way I feel. But let me back off from that a minute. I want to suggest that you really do deserve and need to get some help.
Yeah, a real job to keep the alcohol cabinet stocked.
Whatever is driving you to push people and to harm people.
This movie is fucking awful. That fucking Post serial, those movies I watched about Sega game tips were way better made than this.
And whatever drives you to provoke people and then to take their reaction and raise money off of it is sociopathic.
The fucking background music is fucking terrible and doesn't fit with the fucking theme at all. This
And
movie cured my
there may be
insomnia.
help. I don't know if you're...
Fuck off. Let's see what the porn star has to say.
Well, to Anita Sarkeesian, I would say, I request that you stop misrepresenting women. I request that you stop misrepresenting gamers. You are doing a tremendous amount of damage to women.
It's funny because years after this came out, a lot of people that would have supported this movie are now anti-pornography. A lot of the people that were like pro-Gamergate are now anti-pornography. Listen to anything coming out of your mouth.
And to youth in this country. It is
Anti-pornography, anti-prostitution, like they realize it's wrong. And they wouldn't have realized that during Gamergate.
not our fault that you are emotionally damaged.
As they should.
It is not our fault that you are projecting all of your problems and failures onto the world around you.
You're a child molester. You're arrested for molesting children and having drugs in your house. You are not one to wag your fucking finger. You are a whore and a child molester. You are a piece of shit. You suck cock for a living. They realize sodomy is disruptive. I'd rather see a 3-hour video of irate gamer. That would be awesome. You molested your own child. You are a piece of garbage, Mercedes Carrera. You are in jail. You are not a political prisoner. You are in jail for molesting your child. Anita was right about you. Anita was right about pornography. Fuck out of here.
You are single-handedly doing more damage.
Eat a dick. Particularly mine.
But congratulations, Anita, on not being a lawyer because they can't disbar you.
All right, that's pretty good. And honestly, that's a pretty good way to end your movie. This movie sucked. This movie's fucking ass. Jordan Owen, you fucking suck at editing movies. Major Dimitris, Joey. Videography by Davis Serini. Davis Serini has his own version of this fucking video, by the way, at the end of a supposedly objective documentary. Alright, that's it for a fucking Davis Serini movie. It's not good. It's fucking awful. I don't even want to play a Hannah Minx video. I just don't. Yeah, this movie sucked. Jordan Owen, you fucking suck at making movies. Here. And we're not going to do Hannah Minx. We're going to do fucking... Irate Gamer stream will be in the future. I do want to do an Irate Gamer stream. But we are going to do one more video, and it makes sense. This is by Jade Augustus.
Have you ever noticed that, with a few notable exceptions, basically all characters in video games fall into cliches and stereotypes? My name is...
That woman is Mr. Mediker's wife.
not Antia Sarkeesian, and I run the non-existent website Fake Feminists.
Thought her name was Jemry.
Many professional victims reinforce...
Mr. Mediker's girlfriend's kind of a butterface. She kind of looks like Bobby Lee. I'm sorry, Jim. I'm really sorry, James. James Augustine. And
amplify that women can only earn money by calling others sexist and misogynistic. They strengthen the idea that women can only be victims and conniving bitches.
Jim married Bobby Lee. Laughing my ass off. I can't believe... Oh, fuck. Cloudflare requires two-factor authentication. Oh, fuck it.
In this particular project, which I'm going to be calling Professional Victims versus Gaming Community.
There's our good Vivian James.
Beaches and docks, I'm going to create this single video which is completely stupid. Video games are fun and many people enjoy them.
That's who Mr. Mediker wakes up to every morning. Mr. Mediker, dying of the cancer, Mr. Medicare. And he wakes up and he just sees like Bobby Lee with big tits.
Regardless of gender, sex,
Jim's yellow
sexuality, penis size, or race. I understand that white knights might feel the need to protect these bitches, but they need to get out of their mom's basements and get their cocks wet. These dramatic events are...
Whoa, Jade, what you got there in your hand? Is that a, Jade in a heartbeat? Fuck. Amanda May is fucking hideous. Mr. Mediker's girlfriend may look like Bobby Lee, but she still looks better than fucking May. That's mean.
Shaping our gaming communities, either by challenging or reinforcing existing ideas of female...
You gotta blow on it, sweetheart.
...through Reddit, 4chan, YouTube, and Twitter.
There's Pate Bin. Don't agree with me equals sexist terrorist. People who don't agree with me equals sexist terrorist.
This new video will focus on how much bloody diarrhea comes out of gaming journalism.
The Streisand Effect is real. Also, fuck our gaming mods. Jade with that dildo, Erme.
What I try to do in my videos is give people the language to understand and talk about the current issues in gaming culture.
I am not sexualized or objectified in the least. Males are incapable of being objectified. My muscles are completely realistic. Only females suffer sexualized objectification in video games. It's not like most video game male heroes are two-dimensional and badly written.
If you don't agree with me or donate, you are sexist and trying to suppress me. When I tweet that I am getting death threats and harassed, I have no agenda. I just want to make bad
That's a love book?
Stop spreading my personal information, please. So please give me...
The phone number is this a real phone number? 919-546-0571. Call that number.
Any amount.
Actually, fuck it. I'll do it. Shit. I don't know if I'm gonna like... Alright, let's do this. 919-546-0571. It's in North Carolina. Joey, no. Pick up, pick up, pick up. Pick up. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. Pick up the phone, sweetheart. Pick up, Jade. Hello? Alright, they're not picking up. They'll probably call later. But, that phone call leads to, like, fucking, like, North Carolina. So anyone in North Carolina, that's it. I hope I don't get like a fucking angry phone call from Mr. Mediker. Drunken Joker prank calls. Call yourself the Joey stream if you leave a message. No, they didn't pick up.
Even if you're poor, have colon cancer, or trying to...
It's 3 a.m. Dodo. That's not the FBI CP field device report number. Mediker is too ill to call back. FBI CP field office report
raise
number.
money for charity.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter anyways because I'll just hack your Indiegogo project because you keep raping me with your eyes. Thank you for watching this video and supporting my tits. You can follow me on Twitter at JadeFox, and you can check examples of my previous work at Argon Wild.
Reddit.com/ArgonWild. So go on there. And there she is.
One thing I really want to say before I go and before you don't donate, people are
She does have some nice tits,
not
I'll give
mad
her
that you're a
that.
slut, Zoe. I'm a slut and I show off my body proudly. We are mad because you are manipulative and help expose the corruption in gaming journalism. So for that at least we must be thankful. We don't really care that you slept around, sex is always a good thing and these are your choices. But it's very obvious that you try to make money
She knows what men want to
and a name
see.
for yourself by sacrificing many online communities. And for that we will always hate you. Have a good life.
Is this that Jade? Is that Jade? Yes, that is Mr. Mediker's wife. Booba, hee. I'm sure a straight woman would want to motorboat those. Yeah, they're nice boobs. Mr. Mediker's wife has a nice tits. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna relax and go to bed. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you